Robert.
Y'all trying to kill me.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Welcome.
It's not about music. I'm trying to have a relationship with my kids, and I can't do it.
Oh, shoot. What the hell going on
Y'all
here?
just don't want to believe the truth. You don't want to believe it.
At this point, we briefly pause the interview.
Welcome to Talk Live. I'm trying to hold on. Let me just stop this tape right here.
No, we're gonna
Let me just stop this tape. Let me just stop this tape. Let me just stop. Actually, play. Mute it because I am continuing to follow this. There's another. Does this remind you of anything, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah. I agree. It reminds you of something. Welcome back to Talk Live. Let me see if I can get my stream back on me. And why is it not on me? Ridiculous. Starting, but it hasn't started recording yet. Full cam. I don't know what's going on here, ladies and gentlemen. Let me see if I can start it again here on YouTube. Yeah, I want to exit while live. Yes. Oh, there we go. Oh, finally. I don't know what happened there. There we go. Ah, Jesus Christ on a motorbike. Okay, we're back. Thank you, Jesus. Okay, I don't know what happened there. It was a bit of a stallage. But we are back, yes, y'allage. And welcome to Talk Live on IG and YouTube. Hope you didn't... hey, yeah, again, this issue is really, really riveting, to be fair and frank. This is probably the story of the year thus far. But thank you very much for joining me at Talk Live on IG and YouTube. Like, subscribe, comment. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. We are back, people. We are back with Diddy is Done Part 2. And Lord knows, this thing is an ever-evolving, avalanching, ever-moving thing. This is a moving target, ladies and gentlemen. It really, really is. Day by day, you're getting more revelations, more activities, more action. More actions that are going on in this trial, and we're trying to keep up with it. But it is moving at the speed of light, ladies and gentlemen. It really, really is. I mean, my condolences to those in Baltimore who suffered from that simply horrific yet idiotic accident that happened out there. But again, what has overshadowed that news? It's been Diddy. And the charges that are against him. Charges of racketeering, charges of human trafficking, charges of sex trafficking. All there for charge of sexual assault. All there to be seen. So again, we're here, we're back, we're here launching part 2. My raps are taking it again on the chin, Lord knows. Just end the season. End the stream day. But we are sponsored by Dun Talk, DUNTALK.com. DUNTALK.com. Like, subscribe, comment. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Let's get into it, people. It is going off at every beck and call. Yes, it is. We're just going to go to the browser right now. Let me go to the browser first. And we're going to get out here. Yes, indeed. Yeah, we are relying heavily on DJ Academics. DJ Academics is moving at the speed of life on the story. Shout out to DJ Academics. Do like and subscribe to DJ Academics. He's doing wonderful work on these YouTube streams, especially with regards to this activity regarding P. Diddy. P. Diddy is in trouble. He is in trouble, ladies and gentlemen. Make no word of a lie. This is not going away anytime soon. This is not something he's going to brush off at a flick of a pen, at the twist of a hand. He's not going to do it. It's not going to happen because, again, federal prosecutors are involved in this case, and believe me, they wouldn't move forward with a search warrant. Homeland Security wouldn't move forward in terms of their investigations if they didn't have adequate evidence against P. Diddy from many sources. Most importantly, I'd say Cassie, Cassandra Ventura. I'm sure is going to be the star witness with regards to this because again, as will be seen later, not only she wins twice because she wins in terms of a civil suit, and she wins in terms of her activity here in this prosecution, because I believe me, she does not like Diddy at all. So let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do it right now. Let's do it right now. So the first thing you got to say is, okay, let's go back. let's go back here for a second. Yeah, this is it. Let's go back for a second. I mean, a few other people, a few players, a few individuals were calling out Diddy for his freak offs, for his sexual proclivities, for his actual sexual identity. And we took a blind eye to it because, quite simply, the evidence wasn't there until Cassie came along. But even before Cassie came along, there were rumors, there was innuendo, there were hints at the fact that Diddy participated in freak-offs, involved himself in in lewd and crude sexual activities, and also, involved himself in sex trafficking, rape, and the like. Shout out to my man Sean. What's up, man? So, just wait there. So here we go. So the first thing I want to do is we're gonna take it back first. We're gonna go back. We're gonna discuss people who had ideas of Diddy being what he's accused of today as a sex trafficker, as a human trafficker, as a racketeer, as a racketeerer, and as a sexual philanderer. So again, we'll play this video from Diddy is Finished from Mediocre Tutorial Reviews. He's doing wonderful things in the YouTube streets. Like and subscribe to him. So let's get into this first thing right now. This first video right now. And this speaks on the background of Diddy's, sexual past.
Yeah, Mr. Lee.
I love this drink. I like when you like this, Daddy.
Yeah, where you put my bag?
Daddy, I like when you
right
scrambling
here,
and scraping for shit.
No,
I like that.
Shit. I'll be practicing.
If you don't see in the caption on Talk Live, he said, did Diddy just call Noriega, and this is on the Drink Chance episode, Daddy? Let's continue.
I like when you like this, Daddy.
Yeah, where you put my bag?
Daddy, I like when you scrambling and scraping. Scrambling and scraping for shit.
Now, again, if you don't see this on Talk Live, you're seeing what's his face? A few rappers. Oh my god. Jadakiss, and also a few rappers here giving Diddy the side eye when he called Noriega Daddy. If you're anywhere near the hip hop scene, not this little Nas X and all this nonsense you heard from from previous, you don't call a Negro daddy. You just don't do it. You don't call a Negro daddy. Noriega, that's right. N-O-R-E, yes indeed. You don't call a Negro daddy. That's what Diddy just did. Let's continue.
Okay, yeah, I'm not gonna go over that one.
Make a wish. Just blow it out. It's your birthday every day.
Every day's a birthday on Drink Chance, goddammit. I'm in.
Where I look back on where I became.
Did you miss me though? For real, because it seems like a thing.
I miss
this
partying
birthday
with
party,
Puff, man.
Man, but I'm talking about for your birthday.
Huh?
Why won't you party with me for your birthday, man?
We partied for my birthday before. You came to my party.
No, but me and you ain't never really party. You know what I'm saying?
He just called. He asked. He wanted to really party again. Fabulous. There it is. He just asked Fabulous to party with him, like really party. Okay, see Cat Williams on that, please.
Breaking news right now. We're following the Department of Homeland Security.
Okay, we've been through this, so we're going to speed this up just a little bit.
Hills, believed to be
here we go.
Connect.
Anyone who takes that the wrong way know why they take it the wrong way.
You know a thing.
Did you make the right decision leaving rap?
I did. Everything now that we see playing out is all the things I escaped.
If you don't know who that is, that's Mace. That is Mace. Money Mace, former artist on P. Diddy's Bad Boy Records. And they did not exactly see eye to eye on many a thing. And he was shorted a lot of dollars from Diddy shorted, as they say, Mace, a lot of dollars in terms of things. So they did not end in the most amicable of terms, to say the least. Well, they hate each other's guts. Let's say that. So this sort of comeuppance on with Diddy in regards to all these charges against him and his companies. Well, it makes Mace happy to no end. Let's go.
You can understand now why Mace became Pastor Mace.
The car, the shine, the loan, Puff Daddy, the Craig Mack,
Biggie Smalls.
the Biggie Smalls. So even though I made those decisions and it cost me money, that's why I got with Killer and they gave me the money back. I didn't lose no money. Destiny.
That boy good.
That boy good.
That boy good.
That boy good. That boy good.
Nigga, and that's why he makes the big bucks.
That's why he makes the big bucks. That was crazy. Yeah, I couldn't have planned that. You asked me, see, that's why it's destiny. You asked me the right question. We at the right place. This is how it's meant to go, man.
What I do, baby?
Thank you, Killer.
Yeah, likewise,
Thank
man.
you, Killer.
Man, thank you,
on
man.
national TV. Yeah. Thank you, Killer.
Thank you too, Murder. I appreciate it, bro.
I think it's powerful to hear Mace articulate it like that, because oftentimes on this channel we go over the short-term gratification or selling yourself for the money to be utilized as a pawn for the destructive nature of whatever capitalistic good that is being sold onto others.
All right, let's keep going.
Within his soul than he would have been if he kept on going down that path. Chef's kiss.
Getting hit with a Freako in 2024 is crazy. Getting hit with a Freako in 2024 is crazy. 9 times out of 10, I don't wish jail on nobody. I swear to God, I really don't. I don't have nothing against Diddy, his kids, nothing. I just gotta say it though. A Freako is wild. I never seen a Freako indictment. For the feds to pull up and say, yo, you are too freaky for society. Come with me is unbelievably outrageous.
Ninja ran off and left the kids in the whole shit. Yo, he threw in the race and said, F it. Yo, 50 is a savage. A freako.
And the fact, Diddy, you wasn't even at the crib. That let me know what it is. Like, you knew they was coming. Being too freaky for society is wild. Like, I know R. Kelly is like, see, and y'all.
Now, as you guys would expect, Twitter, the internet is going crazy and bringing up even more clips that you probably have never seen before.
Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours?
Okay. This didn't age well. What you're about to see on YouTube and here on Instagram is, yeah. Diddy with a 15-year-old Justin Bieber. Diddy was 40 at the time. So, we considered him innocent at the time. But now, it really didn't age well, ladies and gentlemen. It really didn't. Let's continue.
Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like, where we hanging out and what we doing.
The boy, Justin Bieber, came from Stratford. Shout out my man King Onan. The man came from Stratford. So you know he was purer than pure, sweeter than sweet. Innocent than innocent. Innocent of the innocent. And he comes to the den of iniquity that is Los Angeles to meet up with Diddy.
We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream.
Look at Justin.
you know, I have been.
Deer in headlights. Mind you, Diddy is 40 years old in this, and Justin is 15.
Given custody.
Reminder.
Of him, you know, he signed to Usher.
I'm signed to Usher.
I had legal guardianship of Usher when you know he did his first album. I did Usher's first album.
We're gonna get into that in a quick second.
I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So and we gonna go buck full crazy.
Going crazy.
Going buck full crazy is wild in this new context. To me, this looks like a smile of grooming. And if I was to make a prediction, I think Justin Bieber in the next several weeks to month is going to come out with his own Diddy story, unfortunately. And it kind of puts...
He's right. There's 15-year-old Stratford, Ontario. The kid would love to play video games, kiss behind the portables, ride bikes, go to movies. Innocent stuff. And Diddy's it.
His career into context, why being exposed to people like this had him abruptly end his career to focus on his mental health.
Yeah, so as soon as you turn 16, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let you rock this every time you come to LA. Yeah, this will be yours. So every time you come to LA, it's a little dusty, but you know, put the front shot in.
Man.
Minute.
Woo. Okay.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna be driving this next year.
Yeah, when you get 16, you come out, you gotta, you know, wear your seatbelt.
I mean, I'm 15. You could ride in the passenger seat. I got my permit. Not yet.
You can just see the youth within Justin. He doesn't yet understand that gifts don't come free. They're really, truly not gifts when you're caught up in this type of a lifestyle. This is a loan to be paid back with interest.
Of course he doesn't understand what this is because he's from Stratford, Ontario. He's from Stratford. He's not from the 6th. He's not from Hamilton. He's not from Sudbury. He's not from any of these places. He's from Stratford. The lily white of the lily white. The innocent of the innocent. The spring rose of the spring rose. And then you got Diddy. Now again, maybe Diddy's innocent in this, but do you believe it? Innocent to prove it, I get it. But do you believe it? Okay.
No.
16.
Not ready. Let's slow down. Let's slow down, Jess. Okay. Let's slow down. Okay.
One step at a time.
But yeah, the keys is yours when when you get 16. You're good to go.
I'm good to go.
Yeah.
All right.
And then when you get 18, you get the house. You get the mansion.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
So where are we off to now?
Where would you like to go?
I mean, wherever you want to go. Where are we going?
50 Cent tried to tell y'all not to accept gifts from Diddy.
Then Puff was like, first he was amping him to get stopped. Then he was like, when we gonna get the chance to, to kick it, like we could just hang out. Nigga, we gotta kick it. This is Puff. Okay. He telling me we gotta kick it and shit. And he was like, why don't we go shopping or some shit? I mean, I'll pay for it. And I was like, what the fuck this nigga just said? I got the fuck away from him because I was like, this nigga just tell me he take me shopping. And this is shit that goes on. But it's just it's a fruit pie. It's a fruit pie. Trust me. You see these little weird ass pictures and shit like that out there. You sit out there for no reason. You don't see accident pictures and be like kissing it. Like that doesn't happen by accident. You know what I'm saying?
50's right. 50 warned us all. 50 warned us all that Diddy was here for ulterior motives, for different reasons. And no one was safe. No one. Not even 50. No one was safe.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Look, later you gonna find out a little shit that I be saying.
For context, the men on the other side of the table are signed to Revolt Network, which produces this podcast, which is owned in part by Diddy.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Man, listen, I'm trying to tell you the truth. But the truth, sometimes it hurts. Right. It hurts people and they don't want to hear that shit. But I'm trying to tell you, nigga asked me, could he take me shopping? And it fucked me up because I'm looking like, what the fuck did this nigga just like? I want to take you shopping. I got a bankroll out this motherfucker. I want to take you shopping. Why? Because when you walk around looking so motherfucking good, I'm going to feel like, God damn it, that motherfucker with me.
Talk about a chick.
That's all I want to do.
What I love about 50 Cent is the fact that he doesn't care he doesn't give a damn who is who's in front of him. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. And if you don't, you're gonna get it. And he is one who is unabashed, will tell the truth on anybody. Even Diddy. He was saying this years ago. And we blew by it. We were thinking, there's nothing to that. Allegedly. Innocent till proven guilty, yes. But it's all coming true.
That's all I want to do. But when a nigga tell me he want to take me shopping, what the fuck is the matter with this nigga? Where was this at?
I'm beefing with Steve Style. And Puff is telling you you're going to take your shopping.
Swear to God,
everybody gonna want to be at Chris Lady wedding right now. Everybody gonna be like, yo, I was there.
Well, I'm bugging because while they was sitting there at the wedding, like I'm like this, look, because you know they both stay here.
Right.
Both Stout and Puff.
Okay, yes,
They fucked the Veronica, the girl that Chris was married.
Whoa, this is awkward. We did not know that.
So I'm sitting there like, what the shit we got going on?
Oh,
like, goddamn. Like, on my own.
Shit goes so deep. It's funny to laugh at this, but 50 Cent was a grown-ass man that can make grown-ass man decisions. Watching that in the context of Justin is wild. But remember, Diddy talked about having legal guardianship over Usher?
Moved to New York City. And I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp?
Yeah, that's what it was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
in the 90s. Do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
No, not really. I mean, but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. And it was but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
So nobody tried to, some woman didn't come along.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I didn't say that. What I did say is that there were very curious things taking place. And I didn't necessarily understand it.
Now think about it this way, ladies and gentlemen. I had to stop that right there. What you just heard, who you just heard was Usher. And again, it's true that Diddy had legal guardianship over Usher when he was 14 and living in New York when he was about to be signed by Bad Boy Records. But he wasn't, and he moved on with his life, got with So Def, and the rest is history, and Jermaine Dupri, and the rest is history. But think to today. Think to different occasions where Usher would get a little handsy with the likes of Alicia Keys. Get handsy with the likes of, Keke Palmer. Get handsy with other men's wives. And other things. But it all stems from these sort of days of debauchery and seeing things that, and these things develop over time. But there had to be an origin story. And if there's ever an origin story for Usher, this is it. This is it. Let's continue.
Biggie Smalls was there.
Biggie Smalls was there. Lil Kim, Craig Mack.
All these people are hanging around.
Yeah, man. Faith Evans,
your parents
Jodeci,
were
Mary J.
okay?
Blige. They didn't know nothing about this shit.
Oh.
I was having a good time. You know what I mean?
Does he have you doing any chores? Are you doing dishes at all? I mean, to keep you humble somewhat? Or are you just like, can you stay up till 4 a.m. with them and party?
I mean, I could. I actually stayed up longer than them.
And do you have money? What's going on?
I mean, I had like per diem.
Yeah.
I had like, you know,
What
like
a
living.
life.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
14 years old. You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy camp?
Hell no.
Hell no.
The red flags really didn't go up for me in this Diddy case until I saw how quickly that he settled over the case with Cassie after she went public. I would imagine that a man of his wealth, if you were innocent...
Okay, thank you very much to my man, Mediocre Couture Reviews. Subscribe to Mediocre Couture Reviews. That's really, really eye-opening knowledge there from different sources as to Diddy's behavior. So this is not unheralded. This is not something that just came out of the blue. He's not just been doing it for the last few years. He's been doing this for many years. Many years. But thank you to Mediocre Tutorial Reviews for doing that. Now, again, let me see if I can, if I can move this here quickly. I just want to get this organized. Yes. All right. So, I think we can go. And let's go into this quickly. I'm just making sure that, yeah.
The big payback.
This has been the last year's really kind of been the big payback for you, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
We're gonna stop it here, really.
You kind of
let's get these comments and then go into
Destiny.
Yeah.
You got Destiny. You know what happened yesterday, right?
Yeah, man. That's what I'm trying to say. It's going crazy.
What happened?
I'm gonna let you stop. What did you see that happen?
Oh, yesterday was the anniversary of Biggie Smalls' album, 27 years later. That's what I see yesterday. That's what I was talking about.
Yeah, that was real. It's amazing that all of this would transpire on that day.
What's crazy is yesterday was Biggie Smalls' 27th anniversary of Life After Death. And it was also the Diplomat Immunity album, 21st anniversary. Shit going on. Shit's going on around. Yeah, man. I was just saying this. That day, yesterday was kind of.
That's eerie, man.
Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. It was just
that was crazy.
That's kind of crazy, man. I had no idea that, the internet lets you know, because I don't be knowing these dates for my albums or other people's albums, but they will remind you, man.
Yeah.
That's all you see?
In a lot.
That's what I was.
I've seen helicopters off.
Okay.
It's a lot.
What's up, everybody? This is the world famous Ed Lover, and you are watching Forgotten Kings.
Okay, so we're gonna leave it there.
That's right, Forgotten King.
Thank you to Forgotten Kings and his video. But let's get into it. Let's get into the nitty and the gritty of today's show. Now, before we do that, I want to correct. Yes, let's do that now. I want to correct what I had said yesterday. Now, I said that Diddy was out of the country when they came to his house and raided it. Now, that was wrong. Diddy was in the country. He wasn't at home, but he was in the country. Now, who was traveling on Diddy's private jet at the time? Who was doing it? Well, Academics has a story, and we're relying on Academics for this, so shout out to Academics again. He's been covering this from left and right, so let's go with this. Oh, sorry, let me get this volume up.
But the guy's own private jet is miles away in a completely different nation. Duh. Again, this is where I told you this fucking jet has been. Right here. Go to her Instagram. TMZ has tracked his jet. and look like the aircraft is currently in Antigua. So you know what that means? Shorty's in Antigua. By the way, this is Antigua. It's a jet. It's Antigua right now. Diddy not on it, man. Based on the flight activity viewed by TMZ, the jet been up and down California Sunday and Monday, taking off from Sacramento, blah, 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 landing in Palm Springs for an hour later. Around then, took from Palm Springs, landed at Van Nuys. It was in LA, 30 minutes. Yeah. This is how good Diddy is. Diddy gives his personal jet to his side chick for her to go pick up her friends. They treat it like an Uber. Look. They're treating the jet like an Uber. Look. It took off from Sacramento Executive. Then it landed at Palm Springs an hour later. Then it took off from Palm Springs, landed at Van Nuys. Took off from Van Nuys, then it went to Antigua. Nigga, it basically picked up like 3 other people. They're carpooling Diddy's jet. The plane is grounded there, although the flight data has yet to update and register him as officially landed. In any case, it's definitely Diddy's jet. It is his jet.
So that is what you're getting from Diddy. Is not in Antigua. You know who's in Antigua right now? Young Miami and her friends. It seems that Diddy was very generous that he gave his private jet to Young Miami for her to, go up and down the California coastline, pick up her friends, and fly to Antigua. Well, now again, this as you heard, these the raid took place on Monday. So this happened on Sunday. So no one had any recollection or any knowledge, really, because this was a very hush-hush raid and investigation and regarding search warrants and surveillance carried out by Homeland Security. So no one knew that this was going to happen, but that's what she was doing. She was literally riding Diddy's plane up and down the West Coast in California and then flying off to Antigua because, as has already been said on this show, women don't buy private planes for themselves. Women don't buy yachts for themselves. It's usually a man who provides such airlines and airline facilities for women to use. So that's what Young Miami is doing. So, in essence, what I have to say is Diddy wasn't on the plane. He wasn't outside of the country. He was outside of the home when the search warrant was executed on his California, his LA and Miami homes, but he was still in the country. And I'll tell you where he was thereafter because he was I think it was in Miami at the time. We'll get into that a little later. However, in terms of developments, but in terms of his private plane, he wasn't on the plane. He wasn't out of the country. Young Miami was out of the country, which goes to show how chivalry is not dead, and men usually buy big ticket items, but that's a whole other story altogether. So I'll let my man continue, and then we can move on with the pleadings.
The only thing remains unanswered is Diddy on the plane. He's not on the plane. Like, come on, man, stop it, bro. Stop it, bro. Stop it. We're not here to make up lies on people. When the truth is so strong, why make up a lie? When the truth is so strong, why make up a lie, people? I cannot believe the entire stream. Spam 1 in the chat right now. If you've been watching at least for 3 hours, spam 2. And if you've been watching for at least an hour, spam 3 in the chat.
Okay, so we're just going to get to a few more accusations made by former Diddy confidants / employees. Let's go.
This is in December.
So I wouldn't be surprised if some storages or some.
Sorry, just to remind you, if you're listening on Instagram, this is Reggie White Jr. This is one of Diddy's former confidants and acquaintances. And basically, he's telling that Diddy's the raid on Diddy. Well, you listen.
Puffy Properties be getting raided real soon because they need to get to those tapes. They get one of those tapes, With him with those little people that
December
they making
14th,
accusations?
this happened.
Woo! Man. Done. But Puffy the type, he'll blow his brains out. Guarantee y'all. Or do like he did on that corkscrew lie. How he did. The next thing that's going to be happening, and after this is now, you're going to start seeing some criminal investigations getting opened. And
February 29th.
When you get too much of the smoke, law enforcement generally gets involved. So that'll be the next thing that will be happening to Puffy, unfortunately. For his sake, y'all know I'm one that believes if you ain't getting psychological help, getting some type of help, and you're a victim, you got to come right away with me and tell it. That's what's happening to y'all boy Puff, P. Diddy, Brother Love, and all of that. But don't act like y'all just starting to hear it. Because I've been telling y'all, the brother is a homosexual. And he's fighting it, trying to hide it, and he needs to just come clean. Yeah.
You just didn't hear that, did you? Reggie Wright Jr., former confidant and associate / acquaintance with P. Diddy, called Diddy a homosexual. Homosexual. But again, he's not the only one. There are others. But he's gone on the record to say this. Shout out to my man Academics for getting this sort of exclusive materials. But let's continue.
How? It hasn't happened yet. He hasn't been rated yet.
This is March 11th.
Clean. Yeah. How? It hasn't happened yet. He hasn't been rated yet. Trust Reggie motherfucking right. They coming. They talk about the secret tapes and the secret cameras and all of that. Too much. Too much for the police, for a law enforcement official to convince.
This is like a week ago, Chad. It's like a week ago.
Come clean. Yeah. How? It hasn't happened yet. He hasn't been rated yet. Trust Reggie motherfucking right. They coming. They talk about the secret tapes and the secret cameras and all of that. Too much. Too much for the police, for a law enforcement official to convince a DA and a judge to issue a warrant to at least go for a fishing expedition, to go hunting, to go looking for something. Hopefully, Diddy is smart enough to call up his good friend Russell and say, hey, Russell, I got these tapes. Because you know, it's one thing about pedophiles and murderers and stuff like that. They do not like getting rid of the evidence. They hold on to that shit like crazy. How many times y'all heard somebody get, like, damn, how the fuck they still got the gun? That gun would have been in the ocean, here, there, you know. How they hold? Because they hold on to their tapes. That's why they do it. So they need it. And law enforcement know this. Like always saying, and you too, John, Reggie be lying, Reggie making up shit. But if y'all go and listen to my videos before, y'all see I done spoke on all this bullshit before. Been telling y'all, Puffy Combs is a fucking homosexual.
Yep.
Well, he was calling it.
Let's go a little further quickly here.
The video. So people know how certain people act after one drink, 2 drinks. And if those girls was drinking out those bottles that he said Diddy laced, and he could show on camera, and he could show that some people had passed out or some people were acting a certain way after they had those drinks, he won his case on that one.
When you was around Diddy, was he doing drugs, like party drugs, like ecstasy and stuff like that?
Diddy wasn't the dude he is today when I was around him. You understand? He had just started, when I was about to leave, he had just started with because he never smoked weed, he never smoked cigarettes, I never seen him do cocaine or none of that shit. You understand? He would have it for people to do it. You understand? It's certain of his girls like to do it, and he would make sure it would be there. But he wasn't the one that did it. Diddy didn't start getting hooked on drugs until he got hooked on those painkillers. After he got hooked on those painkillers, he started drinking more, because he wouldn't even drink hard liquor. He was only drinking champagne, Don P or Cristal. He was not drinking hard liquor then.
Yeah, that's real talk, man. And he also claims that, Diddy, he was using T.D. Jakes to fix his image. You believe that?
Well, we saw that to be true anyway. That's what he was trying to do all that time. That's why T.D. Jakes was there. To try to fix his image. Ain't no money like church money. He was doing all the things to try to get his image straightened up.
I mean, it makes sense. And he also said in this lawsuit that when he was around Diddy, he seen Diddy give out guns, a lot of guns. And he said that the environment around Diddy was violent.
But I don't know. He also said Diddy distributed firearms and was selling drugs.
If you don't know who this is Gene Deal. This is Diddy's former personal bodyguard and friend, confidant, but mainly it was his bodyguard. So he would have had firsthand knowledge of Diddy during his earlier, successful years, and what had transpired at that time. So this is Gene Deal.
And I don't know how far-fetched that is. I don't know if that's true or not and stuff like that. Maybe, Diddy may have had guns around and was fronting. Because they do have guys who, if you need guns and stuff like that, call your man them over. He'll bring over 5 or 6, 7, 8 guns, and you'll probably buy them from them. They had that type of, connection with people.
So we'll leave it there, ladies and gentlemen. That was Gene Deal and Reggie White Jr. speaking on the on the eventual demise of Diddy and the raid and the raids that were to come on behalf of Reggie White Jr. And Gene Deal just spoke on Diddy's temperament, his mentality, his and how he carried himself during the earlier years of Bad Boy Records. Okay, let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we are here to get into these legal proceedings. That is the main thing. So, no better to do that than the one, the only. Let me make sure that this. Here we go.
Colombian. Anyway, so that debunks that, I guess. Like, if Drake and Future are beefing over a girl.
Okay, well, he's off to somewhere else. He's doing his own thing, so we're going to leave it there. However, let's get into these proceedings. Let's get into these legal proceedings. There's no one better to take through these legal proceedings than the one, the only lead attorney. Shout out to lead attorney. He's doing wonderful things in the YouTube streets. And again, he is taken up, and he has gone through tooth and nail the latest complaint from Rodney Jones, aka Lil Rod, and his lawsuit against P. Diddy for $30 million. So we're gonna get through that right now. So we're gonna jump right to the actual lawsuit and who's involved here. And it is a lengthy list, let me tell you. So let's get into it.
But they are coming for it. And they are suing. All this is out of the the Southern District of New York. And so they go through the venue here.
Now do remember, this is a federal case. This is not a state-bound case. It's a federal case brought up in New York court. So this is a serious proceeding, serious action against P. Diddy. And again, sorry. The investigation. I'm sorry. I have to change that up. Do not take those last words as gospel. Diddy is being sued. This is the suit that's coming out of New York court from Lil Rod. That's where it's based out of. The suit is out of New York. However, the investigation is still continuing. And again, that was the reason for the raids in Miami and LA yesterday. So again, or is it Monday? I think it was Monday. But let's go into it.
Why it should be in New York? There's our man, Sean Puffy. Sean Puffy Combs. I think they intentionally chose a terrible photo of our brother here. Looking pretty rough, pretty scruffy. There is his son, Justin Dior Combs. Now, it was seen on some of the footage from the helicopters that he was detained. I'm not sure if they got any statements out of him before he was eventually released. There's Lucien, who is the CEO, apparently, of Universal.
So again, they're just naming the defendants here. They're naming the defendants here in the proceedings here. We're going through the feet of lead attorney. So let's continue.
Music Group. He is one of the defendants. Oh, you got her, man. Cuba can't catch a break. Can we be honest? This man just cannot catch a break. What does he say? Rodney says, defendant Cuba Gooding Jr. was a relevant actor who has since fallen from grace due to several sexual assault lawsuits and a recent guilty plea for sexual assault. Did you know this, Amy? I didn't know.
Yeah, his last movie was last year. It was called The Weapon in 2023.
He got a weapon, all right. Assault on these women. Did he go to? I wonder what his sentence was for this guilty plea.
It's such a shame about Cuba Gooding Jr. He from Oscar winner to social outcast in Hollywood, and again he's been called out for his public drunkenness, for his sexual assault lawsuits, guilty plea of sexual assault. He's hit hard times, and I think himself and Diddy being involved with each other is a serious, alleged serious, ill-fated concoction, to be sure. You don't want to mix those two together. But anyways, let's continue.
But I wonder if he went to jail or prison or something. Dang. So shout out to Cuba. How the mighty have fallen. Then we got KK. Shout out to KK, who is chief of staff. Somebody said that she gave an affidavit. She's cooperating now. So it looks like some of the pieces are starting to come against Puffy. There is Little Rod, a child prodigy. When he was playing back with the church, taught himself many musical instruments. And really, guys, all this really came to a head really a couple of years ago. So this is not one of these Bill Cosby cases where you see a woman coming back from the 70s and 80s. No. This isn't that old. This is just coming out, and from September to 2022 to September 2023. Your boy.
So let's take that into account. From September 22 to September 23, clearly it was recent, number one, but clearly this man was influenced by what had gone on with Cassie and Diddy. With Cassie being so successful as she was, he thought that, Lil Ron thought that indeed he could be successful too. So he decided to try his luck, see if he can get his $30 million, and lo and behold, $30 million. There's a coincidence. There's not a coincidence between the $30 million received by Cassie for the lawsuit and their settlement, and the $30 million sued by Lil Rod. The two go hand in hand. And again, he was, in Lil Rod's explanation, if Cassie can get that money, so can I. So let's continue.
But Rodney worked with Sean for a year, but it started in late 2022. He used to be up in Puffy's home in LA, in Puffy's home in Miami, spent several weeks on a yacht with Puffy, traveling through the Virgin Islands. And he says that he has a lot of different claims. He says, for example, he saw Puffy, he personally witnessed and secured evidence of Puffy's acquisition, use, distribution of ecstasy, cocaine, GBH, ketamine, marijuana, and mushrooms. He witnessed Puffy displaying and distributing unregistered illegal firearms. He witnessed Puffy providing laced alcoholic beverages to minors and sex workers in the Virgin Islands in Florida. Witnessed the chief of staff, KK, instruct the staff to retrieve drugs so she can provide them to Puffy for his consumption. Chief of staff drugging and sexually assaulting a woman. He personally witnessed, Little Rod did, witnessed Puffy Combs detailing how he planned to leverage his relationship with Bishop T.D. Jakes. I had forgotten T.D. was in this.
Yeah.
I had forgotten, man. I know T.D. Jakes is like, boy, they about to raid all of this mansion that all of my worshipers bought me and the helicopters.
He's distancing himself. He tried to.
Yeah, man. Have you ever just been really stressed over something and your stomach is churning and it's like you can't sleep? You just know, like, oh my God. I know some of these brothers in this just are not able to sleep, and I know T.D. Jakes has to be one of them. Has to be. Little Rod personally saw Young Miami's cousin and or assistant sexually assault Rodney. And we'll talk about that in a second. Actor Cuba Gooding Jr. sexually harassing and assaulting Little Rod. I didn't know that Cuba had pled guilty to some of this, to the sexual.
We have something back in 2018, June 2023. He settled a 2020 lawsuit. And it looks like there's 2 recorded lawsuits so far that I can see, but there's probably.
Okay, so, sorry, I'll let her finish.
More.
So let's set the stage. So what you heard there was the charges against the certain assailants when Lil Rod was involved with Diddy making an album from September 22 to September 23. So again, it's all that will be alleged here. So all that will be drafted here, and all these are allegations against Diddy that are placed in the lawsuit in and of itself. So let's advance this a little bit. We're gonna get to some highlights just for you. Just a second. Let me just see. Here we go. So this is a time where, right around now, is a time where Diddy and Young Miami's cousin were trying to. I wouldn't say Young Miami, but Young Miami's cousin was trying to sexually assault Lil Rod. Let's get to this. This is a very salacious part of the proceedings here. So let's get into it.
X on Little Rod's exposed penis.
Oh, wait a second. Let me rewind that back. Hold on.
And walked out of the bathroom. The cousin did not accept the rejection, followed Little Rod out of the bathroom. She started undressing and attempted to straddle.
Here we go.
Off. You know what I'm saying? It's weird because I didn't want to do it. I did not want to fuck a moose that day. This man did not want to have sex with Young Miami's cousin. But here I am. And really, the story actually gets very bad. It gets very bad.
Let's go right here. Let's go back a little bit.
It gets really bad.
Here we go.
To sexually assault him. According to Mr. Jones, as she entered the bathroom, she dropped to her knees and began performing oral sex on
this
him.
is where. Okay, this is really.
So later,
okay, here we
everybody's saying it's Meek Mill.
Here we go. Sorry about that.
Singer, who people are saying that it's Usher and Stevie J. Now y'all have seen Meek Mill come out. Man, Meek Mill is looking bad. If you lose to academics, and academics has just smashed this dude. Academics of all people. Y'all remember academics? This is a guy a couple of months ago who later everybody's saying it's Meek Mill, R&B. But Puffy says Mr. Jones, Little Rod, believes Puffy showed him this and attributed it to his idol Stevie. Okay, so I think this is one part that was changed because in the original complaint, I think they were saying that that was Stevie J, but now they're saying that Puffy said it was Stevie J. And to be fair, I don't think Stevie J has come out and said it wasn't him, but the guy, the gay actor came out and said that that was not Stevie J. That was him. You will remember in the first complaint, they put a photo of who was allegedly Stevie J. And I think Stevie J was quiet on it, or maybe he did not, I don't know. But that guy in the photo was like, that ain't Stevie J, that was me on the set of Behind the Scenes or whatever porno it was. According to Little Rod, Mr. Combs, Sean Puffy Combs, informed Little Rod that he had engaged in sexual activity with a rapper who, later everybody's saying it's Meek Mill, R&B singer who people are saying that it's Usher, and Stevie J. Now y'all have seen Meek Mill come out, man. Meek Mill is looking bad. If you lose to Academics, and Academics has just smashed this dude, Academics of all people. Y'all remember Academics? This is a guy a couple of months ago who was getting into it with his girlfriend.
Yeah, that DJ Academics who's helping us out today. Yes, indeed. I gotta say, I mean, Academics has his fans and he has his detractors, to be fair. But let me say this: he's done a masterful job in covering this case, and it definitely has to rival that of what his lead attorney has done. To be fair, but shout out to Academics, shout out to lead attorney. I am Switzerland in this issue. Let's continue.
I am.
And he was saying that when his girlfriend gets mad, when Academics' girlfriend gets mad, Academics has to call the girlfriend's parents to settle her down, and then Academics runs and hides.
Let's continue that. There's a lot of issues on Academics' part.
Worked, and they put him in a hotel room.
Let's go.
While using the restroom, young Miami's cousin burst into the bathroom and began groping Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones were also present. According to Mr. Jones, Mr. Combs was intoxicated and offered cocaine to Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones rejected him and proceeded.
Mr. Jones is Lil Rod. Mr. Jones is Lil Rod in these proceedings. Let's continue.
Needed to walk to the restroom. While using the restroom, young Miami's cousin burst into the bathroom and began groping Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones believes that Mr. Combs sent her in there to sexually assault him. According to Mr. Jones, as she entered the bathroom, she dropped to her knees and began performing oral sex on him. Mr. Jones pushed her away and exited the bathroom. According to Mr. Jones, young Miami's cousin did not accept Mr. Jones' rejection as she proceeded to follow Mr. Jones out of the bathroom. She started undressing and attempted to straddle him and have sex with him in the presence of Mr. Combs and his staff.
What number are you on?
97.
97. Okay, so what's going on? This man is saying,
this man is saying that he walked into the restroom, and quite simply, young Miami's cousin walked in with him and tried to perform oral sex on him. He tried to push away her advances, but she was rejecting that. So again, this is a example of sexual assault against Lil Rod. So this is what these proceedings are all about, quite simply, at the behest of Mr. Combs.
He was saying, Little Rod is saying, listen, man, your boy Sean Puffy Combs offered me some coke. I rejected him. I went into the bathroom. When I went into the bathroom, young Miami's cousin, who was a woman, went in there and started pulling on his dick and wanting him to suck him off. Then while they're in the bathroom, Little Miami's cousin, she does drop to her knees and began performing oral sex on Mr. Jones's exposed penis. Mr. Jones at some point pushed her away, exited the bathroom.
So I guess he is saying that she raped him.
Guys, you know, put a yes in the chat if there's a woman who you don't want to get a blowjob from, and she gets on her knees and your pants are, you can zip your pants up. Let's just say your pants are zipped up. Is there a woman strong enough to unzip your pants and suck you off while she's on her knees? Like, so a woman gets on her knees, you got your pants zipped up, you say, go. Can she get your pants down and your penis out to suck you off before you get away? I'm not sure there's a woman on earth. Because when anybody's on their knees, man, they just don't have good leverage. You know? Brian said, big fanny.
Anyways, I'll let this continue. This is a little salacious right there,
She
but
tried to fucking put a calf on me. I didn't even know that was possible. Like, you know, I was 18.
Let's continue this.
AD, don't y'all think low key kind of look like Jermaine Dupri a little bit? At any rate, he looks like Jermaine Dupri right here. If this was the cousin, I truly believe that Little Rod would have hit the cousin. But it's never the cousin. I mean, it's never her. It's always her. Can we be honest? It's never the one you want. It's always the moose, right?
Always the moose.
Out of all the people that at any rate, it's always her. So anyway, this is the woman that got undressed and tried to straddle Little Rod. This is the woman who walked into the bathroom, allegedly, got on her knees and put Little Rod's junk in her mouth and was sucking it off.
So can we look at their physical physique? Because she does look like she has some fortitude there. You know?
Yeah, but a woman's fortitude, you're just trying to be nice. She's fat, all right? A woman's fatness, AV, like what are you, 120? This woman could do stuff to you. Because you're 120. This woman here in the moo-moo, I'm going to be nice and say she 175 all day. A woman who is 175 to a woman who is 120, that's, yeah.
Well, I'm looking at Little Rod's.
I would say that would be 180 odd pounds anyways, but yeah, that's a lot of weight. That's a whole lot of weight. Let's continue.
Physique compared to hers.
180 plus.
Little Rod is a goddamn unit. Little Rod, this dude 185 all day.
Right, which is what I'm saying.
What are you saying?
He looks like, you know, because he had mentioned how she kind of like forced him to do some things and use some physical force to do some things. That's why I just wanted to point out their physical physiques are a little bit different from each other. Because you had mentioned the point of like how, you know, women, if they have like pockets or whatever, like if somebody were to grab you by the pockets,
let's continue on with this things here.
Solicit sex workers and perform sex acts to the pleasure of Mr. Combs. On or about February 4th, 2023, Mr. Combs forced Mr.
So
Jones
sorry, let me just rewind this back quickly. This is
good 230 with the moo-moo. It's hard to tell. But if you want to say 230, I guess it would depend on the height.
Again, I say more 180, 190 really myself, but there you go.
More amped up.
But she's a big girl.
In their system. Doesn't make her any more stronger, but I'm just wondering if that contributes to the entire situation.
Yeah. It's interesting. I would like to see a grudge match. I'd like to see a match in the ring. Interesting at any rate. So that's what's going on with that. So Little Rod, this man right here, is saying that he was basically sexual assaulted with blowjobs, and then the lady tried to straddle him. Interesting. Then Trafficking and Victims Protection Act. Do you want to read it right here?
Yeah. According to Mr. Jones, he was transported from California to New York, Florida, the Virgin Islands throughout his time with Mr. Combs. According to Mr. Jones, during this time, Mr. Jones was forced to solicit sex workers and perform sex acts to the pleasure of Mr. Combs. On or about February 4th, 2023, Mr. Combs forced Mr. Jones to bring prostitutes and sex workers back to his home in Miami.
Okay.
What's that?
So, let's see here. The sex workers that Mr. Combs, Puffy, forced Mr. Jones to bring back to his home. Interesting. So that's not a really great photo.
Again, he was involved in those sort of nefarious activities, bringing home sex workers and such. But let's advance a little further on to the actual. Okay. Man, there's such good stuff in here. I tell you, there's such good things. How are we doing for time here? Actually, let's see. Oh, we're actually 105. Okay, so we're still relatively good. So let's continue with this. Just an hour passed anyway, so here we go. So Mr. Jones, Lil Rod was asked to not only solicit sex workers for Diddy's pleasure, for Diddy's needs, but also participate in sexual acts that Diddy wanted him to participate in. So be a member of the Freak Offs. So let's say that he was a part of sexual trafficking, with sexual trafficking ring of which Diddy has been accused of here in this lawsuit.
Photo, but on or about February 2nd, 2023, guys, this is just last year. This is a year ago. Lil Rod believes Sean drugged him. Sean Puffy Combs drugged him. Little Rod recalls waking up naked, dizzy, and confused. He was in the bed with 2 sex workers and Puffy. He also recalls aimlessly walking around the house with no clothes on. Guys, this is real freak off shit. It was just last year. Let's
advance further in this. It was just last year, indeed.
Back into it, guys. And I know I got a lot of other super chats to go through, and we will absolutely get to those. But when y'all bless me like this. All right. So, do you want to take it from here, 103?
Sure. According to Mr. Jones, on another occasion in Miami, Florida, on Thanksgiving night of 2022, Mr. Combs asked Mr. Jones and DeForest Taylor to enter the studio bedroom. According to Mr. Jones, he asked them for a $100 bill because he wanted them to do cocaine with him. Mr. Jones was scared, but luckily he didn't have a $100 bill. So Mr. Combs waited a little later to do coke with Young Miami.
Okay, stop it right there. That's how you know you a baller, when you won't do coke with anything less
than a Benji.
Less than a $100 bill. God damn, boy. That's how you know you are a baller. And shout out to the beautiful Audrey.
Let's move this a little further again.
Mr. Combs used many tactics to maintain dominion and control over Mr. Jones. According to Mr. Jones, these workers were accustomed to servicing Mr. Combs and would know he was in town by the sight of the bad boy baseball cap. The following are Instagram profiles of 2 of the sex workers that Mr. Combs required Mr. Jones to solicit and have sex with him at his home in Miami.
All right, so these are the 2 women. These are the 2 women that he was required to have sex with. Required is a strong word, I suppose. I mean, you could have Young Miami's cousin did not look like this. All right, but these are the two of the women that he was forced to have sex with. God.
Again, it is quite the accusation to say the least. But again, if Mr. Jones comports himself as a young Christian male. Sorry about that. A young Christian male who doesn't engage in such activities, and so all this is new to him. So to most men, they would see this invitation as, oh, wonderful, great. But again, we have to take the seriousness of this of this lawsuit and to Mr. Jones's temperament and temperance and virtue, and he did not want to have sex with these people, and that's to be respected. So it's really interesting to see that what most men didn't want, Mr. Jones, what most men would want, Mr. Jones didn't want, and so that was to be respected. But again, Mr. Combs, Diddy had, according to his lawsuit, it required him. He forced Mr. Jones to have sex with these women, which is surprising. Let's continue.
Golly, it's such a crazy life this man has lived. All right, pick it up from right here.
Yeah, Mr. Jones had no desire to solicit or have sex with the individuals in the previous paragraph. According to Mr. Jones, Mr. Combs used his power and influence to intimidate and force Mr. Jones into soliciting and sleeping with these women. The following is the phone number of another sex worker that Mr. Combs required Mr. Jones to solicit and perform these acts with at his home in Miami, Florida.
So you got the number right there of the girl. Jesus. Okay.
Mr. Jones had no desire to solicit or have sex with the individual in the previous paragraph. According to Mr. Jones, Mr. Diddy used his power and influence to intimidate and force Mr. Jones into soliciting and sleeping with the individuals above.
No, what happened there?
According to Mr. Jones, Diddy used many tactics to maintain dominion and control over Mr. Jones. He promised him a Grammy for Producer of the Year for the Love album.
Grammy. Golly.
He offered him $250,000 to purchase all the instruments he wanted. He promised him ownership of his $20 million property, One Star Island in Miami, Florida. He promised access to record label executives.
Stop it right there on paragraph 114. This is the heart of the lawsuit, I think. The heart of the lawsuit. It was through these offers of, as was previously stated, it was through these offers of, let me just go back just that little bit. Because we are at what? Yes, okay, let me see. Yeah. Trying to advance it just so. Let's go back to this part here. Yes.
Mr. Jones to solicit and perform these acts with at his home in Miami, Florida.
So you got the number right there of the girl. Jesus. Okay.
Mr. Jones had no desire to solicit or have sex with the individual in the previous paragraph. According to Mr. Jones, Mr. Diddy used his power and influence to intimidate and force Mr. Jones into soliciting and sleeping with the individuals above. According to Mr. Jones, Diddy used many tactics to maintain dominion and control over Mr. Jones. He promised him a Grammy for Producer of the Year for the Love album.
So, first things first, Diddy promised him a Grammy for Producer of the Year. Now, I don't know how much it sticks, but again, if he did promise that, that's neither here nor there. Again, we'll see if indeed that was indeed the case, because that could be something said in the moment. But if proven to be coercive, that can count against Diddy in terms of charge. Let's continue.
Grammy. Wait.
He offered him $250,000.
Now that's the crux of the argument right there. So he promised him a Grammy. He promised him $250,000 to purchase all the instruments he wanted. He promised him $20 million property, One Star Island in Miami, Florida. He promised him access to record label executives. This is the crux of the suit. He didn't receive all of these things, so Lil Rod got pissed off. He got pissed off because he had worked on this album. He wasn't compensated. Allegedly wasn't compensated. He couldn't purchase instruments that he would use, and also $20 million. He promised him a $20 million property at One Star Island in Miami. I don't know how true that was, but again, he relied on that, and so he wanted to be compensated with the $20 million property. So I don't know. That was, but that's what he alleged. This is part of these are part of the accusations against Mr. Diddy.
$100,000 to purchase all the instruments he wanted. He promised him ownership of his $20 million property, One Star Island in Miami, Florida. He promised access to record label executives. According to
Yes,
Mr.
let me jump in. So, all right, listen up, guys. Listen up. Puffy promised Little Rod ownership of his $20 million property.
Right.
All right. $20 million property. Now, Little Rod, you know, he's a music producer. He's kind of doing his own thing. But suppose you got a wife. You got a wife and you got 2 kids. You got a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. Your wife's still breastfeeding. All right. Breastfeeding a 1-year-old and you got a 3-year-old and y'all been married for 5 years. Puffy come up to you and say, hey, listen, I want you to sleep with these 2 women. All right. And if you sleep with these 2 women, I will give you a $20 million property. Would you sleep with these 2 women for $20 million if you had a wife and 2 kids? Your wife's a good woman. She's still lactating. But it's $20 million. Would you sell your soul?
Very good question indeed. I'll let you guys answer that for yourselves. We got to really move on with this because there's a whole lot of information here that's going that we have to go through this here but I want to get to this part and then we'll get to the actual what Mr. Jones actually claimed for. This part is rather interesting and serious. This is the part where Mr. Cuba Jr. was involved and he wasn't exactly taking kindly to Mr. Cuba Jr.'s advances. Let's continue.
The fear became a reality when Puffy introduced Little Rod to Cuba Gooding Jr. While they were on Puffy's yacht. According to Little Rod, during the interaction, Puffy suggested that Cuban get to know Little Rod a little better. He left them alone in a makeshift studio. So, guys, y'all can see it here. This is... Well, who is this?
It looks like Diddy's head.
Yeah. Puffy and Cuba. All right, so this is Puffy and this is Cuba. All right, interesting. A lot of touching, a lot of men touching going on. Let me see if I can zoom in here.
Yeah, he looks pumped.
Yeah, and you know, if you walk into Puffy's yacht and this is the lighting schematics. You know what I mean? If you on deck and you walk down them stairs and this is the lighting.
Fantastic.
It's just red.
You already know you on red alert.
Let's continue.
His face. Look at his face. It's like you just pray. Oh my God. Hold up now. Now this is Little Rod. You know, we cannot say from this view that Little Rod is 180. We got to say from this view, Little Rod 240 minimum.
Okay.
Look,
I mean, that's a very compromising photo there between Lil Rod and Cuba Gooding Jr. You can't catch a break. That is really bad. That is not awful. If you see it here on Talk Live, it's really, really bad. And yeah, it's sad.
Little Rod 240 minimum, and look at Cuba just looking at his chest. Y'all see, this is Cuba's eyes, and look at you just looking right at the titty, the titty meat. Look at him. And Little Rod, what's Little Rod looking at? Little Rod looking at the computer. He's like, oh, I'm gonna be a producer, and I got these beats from Puffy, and Puffy said I'm gonna win a Grammy. And Cuba Gooding is like, man, I wonder what them titties do.
Oh my goodness.
I wonder what that gut do. Oh, I want to be in them guts. Look, you got the arm around the neck. The arm around the neck. This man don't even know the danger that he in. And Cuba Gooding just looking at him just like, oh my God.
This whole story is so gross.
Isn't he crazy, guys? Look at him.
Oh my God! Well, yeah. Let's move forward. Let's move forward. Let's get to the. Let's see if there's anything salacious here. There's a few other things, but let's get to what Mr. Oh yes, this part here. This part here is an important part here. Anyways, I mean, Cuba Gooding, but let's see what this.
And then he
piece here is
paid
about.
this guy some gold, and the guy came in with his people, and they just cleaned the house spick and span. Y'all remember that part where he paid the guys like a cleaner, and the cleaner came in. Well, guys, Puffy is saying that I know a dude named Fahim, and
it's about paragraph
Puffy
154.
made it clear that his head of security had the power to make people and problems disappear. Now you see this gentleman and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, that's cool. Fahim, shout out to Fahim. Do you know that there was a doctor and another man in the room when Michael Jackson died? Do you know who was the other man in the room with the doctor and Michael Jackson? Anybody want to take a guess who that other man was? And it's like, hold up, Fahim. Like, who are you really?
Was it Mr. Muhammad?
Who remembers a high value man on deck? Black man living in Washington State, working with Native Americans, and he speaks Russian. Like, you're CIA all day. There are people walking around and you think they're regular people, but how are you in all these different damn places? Fahim is a goddamn cleaner. He's a cleaner. And Puffy says Fahim has the power to make people and problems disappear. And when Michael Jackson, our beloved Michael Jackson, passes away, there's only 2 people in the room other than Mike. What the fuck is Fahim doing in the goddamn room?
Yes, indeed.
So that's interesting, guys. Like, there's so much.
That is interesting indeed. Thank you very much to. Wow, that was a revelation I never saw coming. But anyways, let's get to the suit. That's what we're here for. So let's go a little further here and discuss, yes, the charges that are the parts of the lawsuit that Mr. Diddy is alleging here. So here's more information about Christina Coram, how she was considered Mr. Diddy's Ghislaine Maxwell.
Defendant KK is the Ghislaine Maxwell to Diddy.
So you always need your bottom bitch, all right? You always need that one that's going to support you, right, through all your bullshit. Right here, let's go.
According to Little Rod, during the 13 months he lived and traveled with Diddy, he witnessed Diddy display and distribute guns from his bedroom closets in Miami, LA, to questionable individuals dressed in all black. What? According to Little Rod, during the 13 months he lived and traveled with Diddy, he witnessed defendant KK openly order her assistants to keep Diddy high off gummies and pills. Defendant KK required all employees, from the butler to the chef to the housekeepers, to walk around with a black Prada pouch or fanny pack filled with cocaine, GHB, ecstasy, and marijuana gummies, and Tucci, which is a combination of ecstasy and cocaine. Tucci. According to Mr. Jones, defendant KK wanted Diddy's drug of choice immediately ready whenever he asked for it. Defendant KK ordered sex workers for Mr. Combs. On one occasion, she sent Mr. Jones a text message requesting that he call a particular sex worker. We have the message.
Just as an aside right here, just quickly. I remember a song, remember a song done by Lil Wayne and Drake the other day. I forget the name of the song, but anyways, they referred to the drug Tucci. I remember that. And I wonder what it was, but now I see it's a combination of ecstasy and cocaine. Let's continue.
Message. KK ordered and distributed ecstasy, cocaine, GHB, ketamine, marijuana, and mushrooms to Diddy and his celebrity guests who were present on his rented yacht and in his homes in LA and in Miami. On multiple occasions, KK forced him to carry Diddy's drug pouch against his will. The pouches were always black, and several of Mr. Combs' staff carried black Prada pouches. KK also sent a little rod to solicit sex workers for Diddy. When the sex workers arrived at Diddy's residence, KK would negotiate their price and would take them aside and pay them.
All right, so we got a photo here. Sean Combs' butler, Frankie, with the black Prada pouch mentioned.
So you can see it. The guy that's
So there it
over, he's wearing the black pouch. It looks like.
Okay.
Oh,
There it is on the back.
Right here.
That's the butler. He's wearing it.
All right, let's get to the causes of action here. We've been through a few of the crimes now.
He continued to send her unwanted, harassing text messages.
This just gets crazier and crazier.
Let's go back. Let's go back to that
That's
last
messed
paragraph
up.
before
Who remembers with Puffy for weeks and months, and Puffy has cameras in every room in his house, and little Rod is seen on video, presumably, with cocaine and drugs. He's seen sleeping with sex workers. He's seen in recordings getting fingers stuck up his rectum. What other dirt do you need?
Yeah, seriously.
What do you need? The man's sitting there using cocaine, getting sucked off by young mommy's cousin. So it's like, if you don't have the dirt that you need after a year of dealing with Puffy, some rando person ain't gonna give it to you. So this sounds a little weird here. There's not more dirt that you can get, to be honest. This sounds a little weird. During a call with Mr. Jones,
Let's see if I can go back here and see about the terrible.
Damn. Justin Bieber
And issued. And the way that they planned that out, they knew Diddy wasn't going to be at home. He was on a plane. They got both houses, and they've been planning this for some time.
Yeah. And
let's go here for a second.
Are you going to pick it up here at 192?
Yes, upon information and belief, these individuals were recorded without their knowledge and consent, as is the case with the homosexual sex tape that Mr. Combs provided to Mr. Jones, claiming to be Stevie J. Diddy possesses compromising footage of every person who's attended his freak-off parties and his house parties. Due to this treasure trove of evidence he has in his possession, Diddy believes that he is above the law and untouchable. Diddy employs Jose Cruz as his IT director. This writer has spoken to several former employees of Diddy who confirmed that Jose Cruz is the gatekeeper of all of Mr. Combs' recordings.
So again, that's the reason why they raided the house. That's the reason why they raided the house. They got the search warrants in order to obtain this information Mr. Combs allegedly saved. And I'm definitely sure that Lil Rod participated and was a compliant witness to the federal case. There's no doubt about that. Cassidy and Lil Rod will be sworn witnesses. Yes, indeed. That goes without saying. They will be sworn witnesses in this case. They'll be two of the more valued witnesses in this case. So, because they know where the quote unquote bodies are buried. So let's continue.
Upon information and belief, Jose Cruz intentionally hides behind the camera and from social media and the internet due to all of the incriminating acts he was required to record for Diddy.
All right, so Diddy's tech guy, Jose, the guy who, probably runs all the cameras, installed all the cameras, gatekeeper to all of the recordings, the massive massive amounts of recordings. What happened today and yesterday, guys? Anybody know? There was an FBI raid on the homes.
So we know that the FBI raid was the homes, and that was to get that evidence. So let's continue now.
Level.
There we go.
What?
8-year-old daughter.
Okay, so this is new.
So Little Rod has a daughter.
Little Rod has a daughter. This is the amended complaint. They put this in there. So Little Rod has an 8-year-old daughter. Says Mr. Green contacted Little Rod's 8-year-old daughter. Mr. Green solicited information from the daughter
Wow.
about her father until she cried in fear and handed the phone to her mother.
Wow.
At the time the mother hung up the phone, Mr. Green proceeded to text her. She informed him that she did not want to be bothered. He continued to send her unwanted, harassing text messages.
Wow.
This just gets crazier and crazier.
Wow. Wow.
That's messed up. Who knows Tommy Sotomayor? Some of y'all know Tommy Sotomayor? What? I say that, but then y'all be calling my black ass. Y'all be calling me. Y'all call the judge down here, Judge Glanville, in the YSL case. Y'all called that judge in the middle of trial talking about, Judge, I know you took the money. Why you take the money? Why are you trying to convict Young Thug? They would live stream in the trial. The judge
We were watching it.
watching it.
All right, let's continue.
Gosh, when you get into storytelling, you get so wrapped into it.
Let's get into it. Let's see what time we have here. We're going to have to really speed through this. Sorry for the dragon delay. Like and subscribe, comment, my people. Yes, indeed. We're still going through this right now. Yes, indeed.
There are some cold people in this
thank you very much to all my people on YouTube and Instagram who are tuning into this.
Puffy's in trouble. When Puffy falls, other people are going to fall. And people's bad deeds are oh, this is how I got to talking about Derek. Derek Jackson, guys, when it came out, shout out to Nutrition Lawyer.
Okay, let's just continue because they're talking about Derek Jackson and his affiliation
willful blindness.
TD Jakes. And how his controversy dried up his money.
He says he has at least 7 other clients as well. So this is just starting for Puffy. Just starting. This is one lawsuit. Tyrone says he has 7 more or less. And then, I hope I'm not putting too much out, Tyrone. And then there's other lawsuits apart from Tyrone's lawsuits. And now the feds are on it with search warrants, and they're getting all of the recordings. All of the recordings that Tyrone is talking about, all the recordings that Little Rod is talking about, the feds, the FBI, the DEA. Do you know the DEA is in it because of all the drugs? You know the feds are in it. You know Homeland Security is in it because of the sex trafficking. So many people are going to have all access to all of these recordings. And ain't nothing but celebrities, ain't nothing but Hollywood on these goddamn recordings. Ugh. Golly, boy. So, it's a tough one. It's absolutely tough.
Stop right there for a second so you can see where things are going with these proceedings. You can see where it's going. And that's why I say Diddy is done. He's got 5 to 7 future proceedings to come. He's still got the federal case. You still have all these activities, and the feds are out to get him. Let's face facts. The feds are out to get P. Diddy. They really are out to get him. They want to put him in jail. They want to put him away. Not only that, he's got lawsuits, and I'm sure they are civil lawsuits from more people who allege sex trafficking, allege racketeering, allege human trafficking, allege sexual assault, all of that. So that's why I say Diddy, for now, is done. It's going to take, that's why he wants to get as liquid as possible to fight all these actions, because quite simply, there's nothing else for him to do right now. No one's going to bank on him. He's got to get liquid and fight all these actions. So that's why I say in a word, in a phrase, Diddy is done. For now, he is done. He's got all these actions to face. But let's get into some of the claims made by Lil Rod.
All right, let us keep it going here. So again, Puffy is just saying, hey, these companies, these record labels, they should be required to pay money as well. They should be found liable for the willful blindness of sorry about that. The willful blindness that they were doing. They turned a blind eye to all of the lace alcohol. These companies, they turned a blind eye. All of the records executives, they knew about the drugs. They knew about the product pouches. They knew about the cocaine, the ketamine, the GBH. They knew all about the mushrooms. They knew about the freak offs. They were the ones paying for the damn hotel rooms. They were paying for the conferences. So if they knew about it and they didn't stop Puffy, then they co-signed it. And if they're co-signing Puffy's actions, well, goddamn it, they should go down with Puffy. Shout out to the nutrition lawyers. Like their karma should be coming back on them as well. Their chickens should come home to roost as well.
And now you know why the record companies, the record executives are brought forward in this case, because they're all complicit in the crime. They did nothing to stop Diddy's activities. Did nothing to do it. And more importantly, they have deep pockets. So you're always going to go after the deep pockets. There'll always be record companies with millions of dollars at their disposal. They're always going to go after the deep pockets. So that's why Motown Records, that's why Universal Music Group, these are deep pockets. Love Records, well, to a certain extent, that's more Diddy's thing. But Motown Records, Universal Group are big pockets that this lawyer wanted to eventually create a suit under, because if you know any sort of civil suits, you'll always include those with the deeper pockets in your proceedings. They'll never be pulled out of a certain case, because that's where you get most of your money from. So that's just common practice for in any sort of civil suit. Let's continue.
And they go further and they're saying, hey, this is racketeering activity. If Puffy is doing all of this and Universal is supporting him, Love Records is supporting him, all these other A&R, all these other record labels are supporting him, then what do you have? You actually have an enterprise. And you have an enterprise that is committing crimes in furtherance of the enterprise. You have individuals and companies and groups committing crimes in furtherance of the enterprise. What is that? RICO.
Yeah, and this is not the first plaintiff to allege that. Like when Cassie's complaint dropped, she, mentioned that there are some RICO undertones here. And she also came after the businesses. But guess what? There was a settlement issued next business day, right? Mm-hmm. And then after her complaint, there were like 3 or 4 other ones that came out in the subsequent weeks, right? Mm. So it's interesting to see how all of it is coming together. But it's so funny because we were talking about the Trump RICO thing, right? We're talking about the YSL RICO thing. But then it's like when you look at this, I think some of it is a little bit different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's gonna be super interesting how this blows up. So now they're talking about RICO, racketeer influence corrupt organization, and that's seemingly what we have here.
And an excellent explanation there by the lead attorney there with regards to what RICO actually is. So now when you hear RICO, racketeer influence corruptive organization, or or organized crime, basically. So this was an act, the Racketeer Influence Crime Organization Act of 1970 that made it easier for law enforcement to take down organized crime groups. And what these proceedings are saying is that this was an organized crime group. Diddy, his record companies, his helpers on, anybody who aided and abetted Diddy formed a crime organization to the furtherment of Diddy's ideas and plans. So again, that's the reason why Homeland Security is brought in here. That's the reason why the FBI is involved. That's the reason why, and so you see why this is a federal case, because it's a RICO case.
Right, so the chickens, man. Shout out to the nutrition lawyer, and of course, shout out to Salty Balls.
Okay, we're gonna move forward. Salty Balls. Oh my God, what a name. Anyways, let's move forward with this.
So again, I'm skipping. Some of this is legalese, so I'm skipping some of this because I want to get to the details.
Mm-hmm.
As detailed throughout this pleading, the purpose of the Combs enterprise was to use its position, power, and influence to control artists, creatives, musicians, and producers, to force these creatives to purchase, transport, and distribute illegal firearms and drugs. Yeah, man, him recording all this stuff is so bad. So here, according to Little Rod, is the RICO. Here is the members of the enterprise. You've got DeForest Taylor. You've got Brendan, who was the mule. You got KK, who was the chief of staff. And so they are, oh my God.
Here it
Here's
is.
the black bag.
Here's the bag.
With the pills.
Caught red-handed.
It's a recording too.
It's a video.
It's a recording. And this dude looks blitzed.
Now again, this was Diddy's let me see where it is here. This person here was Diddy's helper, was Diddy's aide, and he was the one who was taken down as of today. There he is. Diddy's associate arrested and captured on body cam. So he was led away in cuffs. So let's just see this quickly. This is what was shown on TMZ. Just a second, let me just get down to it there. There we go. So yeah, so we're just gonna see this quickly on TMZ. So that gentleman, his name is, yes indeed, Brendan Paul. Yes, and you saw him earlier on. You may have seen him earlier on. So we're just turn up the volume on this. There we go. So that's Brendan Paul. Now this is his arrest as of today. If I can get this up and running. Oh God. If I can get this up and running. Sorry about this, guys. It's somehow my... Oh, great. So, let me see what's happening there. It's on airplane mode, no wonder. Let me just get this going here, actually. I don't know how the Wi-Fi's dropped out for a second. My apologies. It's playing games with me all the while. So... I didn't ask for airplane mode. Thank you very much. Alright, so let's try that again. So that was Brendan Paul, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. Hopefully we have better service there. So he was just recently charged. There we go. Wow. Anyways, I don't know what's happening here. There's a bit of a glitch here with regards to my setup here, which is ridiculous. But anyways, I'll just get to the photographs here. That is Brendan Paul, Diddy's associate. He's the one who was holding the drugs. he was charged with, let me see here, as of today, actually. And again, here's a photo of Diddy and Paul at the airport with federal authorities coming to lay charges on Mr. Paul. Now, they didn't lay any charges on Diddy as of yet. Now, again, when the federal authorities went out to see Mr. Diddy, there we go. As it says here on TMZ, cops claim they found drugs in his travel bags, and the feds intercepted Diddy's plane, where he was rolling with his entourage as well as his own kids, other folks in his entourage. So there you go. So this is where federal authorities met up with him from Homeland Security. And again, that's the gentleman right there who you saw in the picture. He is one of Mr. Diddy's confidants. Yes, indeed. And he was named in the complaint. Exactly. All of which Diddy has denied. So as you can see, he was a former basketball player back in 2018. And let's return back to the suit itself. Here we go. Oh, sorry. Here we go. Is it? No, this was it. No. I'm sorry. My bad. There we go. So that's the gentleman you see here. That is the gentleman you see here. That is Rodney Paul holding the drugs, ladies and gentlemen. And they have just locked up. So he'll be a part of that federal investigation big time.
25. He's only 25 and was arrested today.
He's only 25 years old?
Mm-hmm.
How old is Little Rod? Little Rod's got an 8-year-old.
Yeah.
Jesus, he got the pills right there. Wow. All right. Defendants committed multiple acts of mail fraud. They committed wire fraud, sexual assault, and sexual harassment. Sean Puffy Combs violently gripped and palmed my anus and crotch without consent.
Yeah.
This is what Little Rod said.
Oh, boy.
He forced me to work in his bathroom. Sean did, and he forced me to watch him as he showered. He forced me to work in the studio while he stripped naked to get his body massaged. He forced me to work while he walked around naked. As a result of his conduct, I have suffered and I continue to suffer harm, including physical injury, severe emotional distress, humiliation, anxiety, and other consequential damages for which I am entitled to an award of monetary damages and other relief.
Now, again, you hear that and you think, oh, he's done the worst to Mr. Jones. Now, hear this. In any sort of action as such, any sort of civil action like this, any sort of civil lawsuit, you have to make the charges so descriptive, so heinous, so awful, and so descriptive and so vivid. That's the word I'm trying to say. So vivid to the judge or to the jury who's going to rule on this. More than likely, a judge. You have to make it so vivid that they're going to believe you. So that's the reason why. Let's just go back to that last bit right there. I believe here it is. There it is. So that's why he says, as a result of Mr. Clayton continues to suffer harm, physical injury, severe emotional distress, humiliation, anxiety, consequential damages. Now, again, if things were serious enough, then yes, I would believe all these things. But more often than not, this has to be taken with somewhat of a grain of salt. But again, you have to make it so palpable that this plaintiff suffered in these proceedings that they'll give you money for it. That's where it comes down to. They'll give you money for it. So that's the reason why 281 is so important. And this will be part of any sort of civil lawsuit involving personal injury, involving any sort of of loss, of negligent loss on the part of a plaintiff. You're going to see these sort of paragraphs such as paragraph 281. Let's continue.
Continue to suffer harm, including physical injury, severe emotional distress, humiliation, anxiety, and other consequential damages for which I am entitled to an award of monetary damages and other relief. Sean's conduct was willful. It was wanton.
See again?
And it was malicious.
Here again,
At
the
all
wording.
times, he acted with conscious disregard for my rights and feelings, acted with the knowledge of or with reckless disregard for the fact that his conduct was sure to cause me injury and or humiliation. It was intended to cause fear, intended to cause physical injury and pain or suffering.
So again,
I am also entitled to recover punitive damages.
So there you go. As you heard from the lead attorney right there, you have to lay it on thick to the court. You have to lay it on thick, or else the court is not. The court is just not. Well, they're not going to see your claim as serious, or see your claim as credible. Quite simply. So that's the reason why you have to lay it on thick to the court to say that, hey, I suffered harm. I suffered harm, and this is how it affected me. So that's the reason for all those, to that sort of wording, to those sort of paragraphs, because they want to impact the court that he has suffered pain and suffering.
Wow, he put the cousin in here.
So he's suing the cousin as well, guys.
He's suing the cousin for sucking him off. That's like me suing the moose. I should sue the moose. That was damn emotional distress. Y'all remember the cousin? He said that Puffy offered him cocaine. He said no, and he went into the bathroom. Puffy did the Malcolm X. Who remembered Malcolm X? Malcolm X had that glove, and he did like that, and they all went. They were in the street. He said, hey, Little Rod, have some of this cocaine. He said no, and he went to the bathroom. Puffy did this shit right here. And that cousin got up from the couch and went in and walked into the bathroom. Little Rod had his penis out because he's peeing. The cousin come in there, get on her knees, and turn him around and stuff it right in her mouth. Stuff it right in her mouth.
Viewer discretion is advised at this point.
He gets tired and leaves. He walks out of the bathroom into the living room where the girl come out and start getting undressed and try to straddle him in front of everybody.
She's probably on drugs too.
Probably on drugs too. That's exactly right. So now he's suing her. What does he say? He says
So again, he's suing Young Miami's cousin, who he accuses of sexual assault. So Diddy's not alone in this. And the record companies and all these entertainment entities aren't alone in this. Young Miami's cousin, Jane Doe 1, is a part of this too. So everybody's getting it from this guy. But again, he's taking a leaf out of Cassie's page. Let's continue.
Mommy's cousin doesn't even know her name. He doesn't even know her name. As described above, the cousin frightened and placed me in apprehension of harm when she physically and sexually assaulted me on Thanksgiving Day in Sean's home in Miami. She forcibly touched and or attempted to touch my intimate areas
and touched with her own intimate body parts my intimate areas. She used her mouth on me. She performed oral sex on me while I was urinating in the bathroom. Oh my God.
Did I tell you?
I was peeing while she was sucking me off. Ugh. Ugh. Some of y'all are sickos. She performed oral sex on me while I was urinating in the bathroom. I fought her off while Mr. Combs and his associates sat outside loudly laughing. They were laughing as she was sucking me off.
Okay, just to, because I got a question from Bird Sayeri. Hope I said that right. But she asked the question of what is going on at the moment. What I'm going through right now, and thank you very much for your. It's Jay Bird. Okay, sorry Jay, man. Listen, it's sorry Jay, but what I'm going through right now is the actual claim filed by Lil Rod. This is the latest claim filed by Lil Rod on Diddy. So you had the claim by, now remember, this is number 2 of, I'd say, about 6 or 7 more to come against Diddy. There is more to come, but this is number 2. Now remember the first one that opened up the floodgates was Cassie. Cassie was the first case. This now is Cassie was the first lawsuit. She in turn received a settlement for $30 million. Lo and behold, in comes Rodney Jones, aka Lil Rod. Now he was a producer with Diddy on his with Diddy from September 2022 to September 2023 on one of his works, basically. And guess what? Mr. Jones is suing for. Mr. Jones is suing for $30 million, the same money that Cassie received in her settlement. So. And again, what I'm going through right now is the claim, is the action, is the complaint made by Mr. Jones against not only P. Diddy, not only Jane Doe number 1 or Lil Young Miami's cousin, but also against certain associates of Mr. Diddy, also against MCA Music Group, also against Motown Records, also against Universal Record Group, and Motown Records, and Love Records as well. So all these entities is what this thing is stemming from. Now again, I'll tell you why why Dragnet is being used and why he's suing in the first place. But again, he had to lay it on thick, and he had all this evidence at his disposal, and no doubt that not only is Cassie taking part in the federal investigation, of which there was a raid on Monday in LA and in Miami. That was a federal raid from the Homeland Security investigators. So you had that. And I'm sure that Mr. Jones and Cassie were gave affidavits against Diddy with regards to the federal action. So I'm sure they'll be seen as witnesses in the future against Diddy. So that's where we're at right now. We're at paragraph 285. This is a 95-page complaint. Very thorough, very graphic, very, very descriptive. So, Jaybird, that's what we're talking about right now. We're at paragraph 285, and we're at the third complaint, grounds for action that Young Miami's cousin, sexually assaulted him. And as was heard, gave him an oral time that he would never forget. Let's just leave it there. Let's continue.
The cousin then followed me outside of the restroom
and began stripping in front of Sean and his associates. She straddled me. She straddled me. And she attempted to force sexual intercourse upon me. Somebody said, was it soft? All right. That's a question. Was it soft or was it? It's got to be soft, man. I mean, European. But she was sucking you off. I'll be honest. I'm 47. I don't know how that works. That would not work on me. I'm not going to read the chat. Y'all are fucked up in the chat.
I leave that to you.
All right. So, as a result of her actions, I have suffered and I continue to suffer harm, including
gotta lay it on thick here. Listen.
Severe emotional distress, humiliation, anxiety, and other consequential damages. Premises liability for the sexual
Fourth
assault.
cause of action.
So
There's about 15 causes of action here. Remember,
Young Miami's
98-page statement of claim / complaint /
I was legally on the premises as a guest and invitee of Sean Puffy Combs. The guest was legally there as well. Mr. Combs owned the premises and had dominion and control over the lands.
Hold on, just to rewind that quickly.
Puffy Combs.
Thank you very much for joining me on Talk Live. The fourth, this is the premises liability for sexual assault committed by Jane Doe. So this fourth charge is about
suing Diddy for
providing the premises for sexual assault
and doing that on his premises. So that's the fourth count.
Yeah. I was legally on the premises.
He was operating a body house, if you know what I mean.
Invitee of Sean Puffy Combs. The guest was legally there as well. Mr. Combs owned the premises and had dominion and control over the lands. Sean Puffy Combs failed to step in. He failed to stop the cousin for sucking me off while I was urinating. It's Sean's fault. I was urinating, minding my own business. All of a sudden, I turn around, she's down there sucking me off. Sean should have stopped it. She should have been a man and stopped it. Sean Combs had a duty to protect me from the harm that I suffered at the hands of the cousin. Sean.
Now remember, duty protect. This duty protect is all about negligence, ladies and gentlemen. If you're not familiar with negligence, there's an act. There's someone was agreed. The 4 points are someone is injured, or someone has been hurt. And Mr. Combs, the second part of that is you have a duty to protect that person from harm. And if there's any causation, if there's any linkage of causation that disallowed for Mr. Combs to have that duty, that's number 3. And number 4 are damages. That's in a roundabout way. That's part of the reason why this can be seen as a negligence, aka a civil claim, because Mr. Jones has been harmed by not only Diddy in terms of not paying him his money, but also in terms of Mr. Diddy having him participate in sexual activities, including that of Young Mammy's cousin, and you know what we're talking about. So let's continue.
Breached his duty when he failed to stop the cousin from sexually assaulting me. She was sucking me off while I was urinating. In furtherance of this breach, Sean was laughing. He was encouraging the cousin to keep sucking me off. He was encouraging it. He was aiding and abetting it. He encouraged her to continue to insult me. I have suffered immensely from Sean's intentional breach of his duty.
Okay, so that's number 4. Let's see if we can get to number.
Jesus Christ.
There we go.
Oh my God.
5th. There we go.
For Cuba.
Here come Cuba. All right, everybody get ready, goddamn.
Fifth count. Here we go.
Here come Cuba. Guys, goddamn, what lives are y'all living? All right, Jesus Christ. Let me give before we read it to what Cuba did.
Okay, I'm gonna move this a little further on. Here we go.
I've got a few.
There we go. So let's just do that.
As if set forth fully herein. Here, Mr. Jones was assaulted by Cuba Gooding Jr. on the yacht rented by Diddy on the U.S. Virgin Islands in January, as if set forth fully herein. Here, Mr. Jones was assaulted by Cuba Gooding Jr. on the...
What Cuba Jr.? Yeah, that Cuba Jr. Mr. Show Me the Money. Cuba Gooding Jr. Cuba Gooding Jr. That guy.
The yacht rented by Diddy on the U.S. Virgin Islands in January 2023. Diddy was present while Cuba was assaulting Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones was legally on the premises as his guest and invitee. Cuba was legally on the premise as a guest and invitee. Diddy owned the premises and had dominion of control, right? And he failed to step in and stop Cuba Gooding Jr. from sexually assaulting Mr. Jones.
Jesus.
As the owner of the property, Diddy had a duty to protect Mr. Jones from the harm he suffered at the hands of Cuba Gooding Jr. Diddy breached his duty when he failed to stop Cuba from assaulting Mr. Jones. In furtherance of this breach, Diddy encouraged Cuba to continue to assault Mr. Jones when he said that Cuba should privately get to know him better. Mr. Jones has suffered immensely because of Diddy's intentional breach of his duty to him.
Of his duty to him. Yeah, shout out to Nathan, sends me a super chat, sends $25 on that.
There.
Sends $25. Yeah, now they're saying that they failed to file the taxes required with the government. I mean, oh my God, this dude's snitching everywhere. He ain't paying his taxes either. God damn. Damn, did he cross the street? Not in a damn crosswalk. I mean, we're snitching on everything now, but I don't blame him either. If I had to watch fucking Puffy walk around naked in his bathroom, I'd talk about the taxes too.
Remember, we are well, if you don't know, we are on paragraph number 312. 312. So I would say page 60, 70 of a 91 page complaint. 96 page complaint. This is serious business, guys. This is very detailed, very graphic, yet very eye-opening on the proceedings of what happened to Mr. Combs. And it went deeper, and I mean deeper than what Cassie did in her proceedings. She got $30 million, and he's asking for $30 million. Anyways, that's to catch you up. Let's continue.
Liable for Little Rod's damages and attorney's fees. Guys, this fucking lawsuit, do you know how long it would take you to write something like this? This attorney's about to get paid.
Yeah, he was probably, there's a lot of extensive research, so shout out to them for putting it together, because this couldn't have been done overnight.
I mean, think about it, guys. For a case like this, let's say a civil case, the attorney's going to charge you, let's say 30% if we settle with no trial, or I'm going to charge you 40% if we have to go to trial. Think about it now, and shout out to all the attorneys, man. If you land a case like this, if you land Cassie's case, just one case, and you say, if I get you a settlement, I'm going to take a third, I'm going to take 30%, and if I go to trial and win, I'm going to take 40%. If I'm going to take a third or 30%, let's say 30% to make it even.
Think about it. Listen to this. This is important.
What's my take home for that case? It's like $10 million. And the attorney filed the case, and it's settled the next day. So in some respect, you can say he made $10 million in a day. And this is the thing about the attorneys, guys. That attorney who made $10 million, did he have to suck any dick? All the stuff that Cassie did,
jacking off dudes down the street at the Atlanta Continental. 10 years. Is that just for an attorney to swoop in and take $10 million of Cassie's money? So if Cassie got 30 million for all that she endured, an attorney come in, take 10 million and leave, he never had, any of Puffy's digits up his rectum. Is that fair? Now, she couldn't get the money without the attorney because Puffy was saying, I'm not paying you. So the attorney actually had to draft it, but he drafts the damn thing, and it was much shorter and much less expensive than this.
Yeah, that one was.
Thank you very much for the Jay. Thank you very much for the comment. It's only 10 million of what she got the whole, and she got the whole 30 million, which no casual person knows. Absolutely, that's why I turn into Talk Live, because I give you the goods. 30 million ain't all for Cassie. Let me say that. You still have to pay lawyers. That's the first thing they do. And the thing about it is they place that settlement in trust to the lawyer. First thing. They don't send it straight to the client. No, you don't get that. The lawyer gets his cut first. The lawyer gets his cut first, then he hands the check off to the client because he's got to pay for all his disbursements, all his fees, for his work. Yeah. The lawyer on that action gets the money first, in trust. He takes his cut, then he provides a check to Cassie. So she would get her 20 or some odd million anyways. But yeah, that's exactly it. But again, you're not going to file such a case. You're not going to draft such a case on your own. So it's, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. If you don't file a good proceeding, you're not going to get that sort of money. And if you don't, and the fact of the matter is, if you don't file the proceeding, if you can't file that proceeding yourself, let me say that you can't file the proceeding yourself, so you need a lawyer to do it. So you got to take the good with the bad on that issue, or else, because as the saying goes, a person who represents themselves has a fool for a client. Get it? So, there you go.
30 pages. This is 100.
So 30-page complaint and gets paid $10 million. How much is that per page? Somebody do the math. $10 million divided by 30 pages.
Shout out to my cousin Makiba.
Is that fair? Is that too much for the attorney, considering he didn't do any suffering? That's interesting, right? It's interesting.
300,000.
What's that?
300,000 per page.
300,000 per page. Guys, would you like to write something and get paid 300 racks for every page? These attorneys out here eating.
But remember, do remember, you got to go to, you got to get your undergraduate, then you got to get your graduate degree, then you get your law degree, then you got to pass the bar, then you got to go through articling, then you got to go through your years of practice, and then you get it. And who's willing to go down that road?
So let's keep it going.
Eighth cause of action.
We have cause 8, NIED for sexual assault.
Yeah, it looks like it's broken down per person.
Per person.
Yeah, so they break it down per person.
Yes.
Yep.
Or young mommy, young Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Man, and see, that's another thing, because I'll be honest with you, and women, y'all can back me up. You probably don't expect to get sued for millions for trying to give a man a blowjob. Can we be honest? If you want to give a man a blowjob, in your head, you're kind of like thinking you're doing him a favor. Can you imagine? I mean, you're looking at this dude like a 100% ingrate.
Okay, let's move this on a little bit further here.
I had no involvement with Love Records, so it looks like she's just saying, hey, man, I am not personally aware of any
Yeah, we're gonna move this just a little further.
And I
Okay.
believe he had everybody sign this right before the shooting that occurred in the bathroom.
So one thing you're going to understand about these sort of NDAs that we have here, because we're past the proceedings. That's going to a 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th again. That it's a long time. It's a long time to go here. But one thing that's a part of this case is this NDA that Diddy hands out to anybody involved in one of his free calls or anyone involved in one of his parties, quite simply. And the thing about it is, it may stop someone from putting out pleas with regards to civil lawsuits going forward. However, if they are participating in a federal case, it's hard for these NDAs, these non-disclosure agreements, if you don't know, to be enforceable. You'll find that out in a minute. I'll let you go through that in a bit. But again, thank you very much to the lead attorney. He did an excellent job in terms of summarizing these proceedings. Anyways, he really did. And again, it's a lengthy. I mean, it's available online. The whole proceeding. If you wish to, if you like to read the actual complaint, you're welcome to go online. It's filed through the New York federal court. Is it no? Through the New York Civil Court and Circuit Court. And again, it's available for anyone and already available online. But again. But I thank the lead attorney for doing this. And again, you can shout out to the lead attorney. Like and subscribe to the lead attorney. We did that for fair use so that everybody got a little bit of a taste of that. Now, however, let's get to this to this point right here. There's a reason why. I think this is it. The one here. I think it is. Okay. There's a reason why. I'm just gonna play this, and then we're gonna see if we can. Well, let me see what other thing we got. Yeah, I think that will be that. Yes. So yeah, I think that'll be that. Yeah, because we already got that. Okay, so this is the last part of what I have to say tonight, and that is, don't for a second think that Rodney Jones has been so aggrieved that he and he's seen so much, and he's such a a dyed-in-the-wool version that he couldn't take all these proceedings that were happening in front of him. Believe me, there's a reason why he had all this evidence in front of him for a purpose, and that is to get paid. This is all about getting paid. That $30 million, and he saw what Cassie received, and he wanted a piece of his own. So that's why he. But again, shout out to him for making for getting detailed evidence to substantiate his claim. So that was excellent. However, let's go back to Mr. Academics. He's done one. Let me say this about academics here. A lot of people poo-poo academics. They really try to crap on him. But at the end of the day, he's done wonderful work, wonderful research, and what he his space in social media is warranted. Is warranted because he does the due diligence and work behind the scenes, and he has a good knowledge of. He has a pretty good knowledge of legal proceedings and what takes place. He's quite the good lay lawyer. I'll say that. Pause, please. Anyways, and I'll let him explain why the whole Rodney Jones complaint and lawsuit, it's a bit nefarious. It's a bit, sketchy. I'll let it play out here.
All right. Okay. Yo, we're on stream, so I gotta always keep it real.
Truth. Well
I'm gonna
done,
keep it a
Mr.
beat
Bird.
with you. I think this whole lawsuit is bullshit. I'm gonna just keep it a beat with you right now. This whole lawsuit against Diddy is bullshit. Lil Rod, I hit you on your DM. Come on my stream. You not finna get no money off of Diddy. Diddy's gonna be defending this lawsuit. It's very interesting, and I'm gonna say stuff. I'm gonna say stuff without saying stuff. Okay? We're live, right? The reason why this is interesting, and this is why this a live stream is amazing. This name is it's an interesting name, Tyrone Blackburn. I'll tell you who he is. He's the guy who is representing every girl who's claiming that T.I. and Tiny forced them to have a threesome. Okay. He's the guy who's working pro bono because these people don't got no money to sue. And they're just trying to get payday because they think that we're in an era of hip-hop stick-ups.
Now, Tyrone Blackburn is the attorney for Mr. Jones. That's who Tyrone Blackburn is. Okay? Just to let you know. Let's continue. The plaintiff in the matter, if you don't know.
Y'all know who he also tried to hit up?
And that's the guy, let me say this again, that's the guy who has about 4 or 5 claimants, 4 or 5 plaintiffs that want to sue Diddy. Okay, he's got about 4 or 5 claimants that was alluded to earlier on from the lead attorney. Okay, Tyrone Blackburn, remember the name.
Same nigga. No, I'm not speaking on the veracity of thing. I'm saying that this guy, in terms of a lawyer, is the new, hey, I want a payday from the rich celebrity. I'll get him to file my lawsuit for free and try to stick him up. So I'm gonna be honest with you, and y'all know I ain't fucking with, like, me and Diddy not cool or nothing like that. But that, well, shit, that nigga hit my people up. I swear. I'm like, Tyrone. That nigga was like, oh yeah, we represent everybody. Who are you? So now I'm getting a little bit of context. And if you know, you know. If you don't know, you don't know. I'm not going to get too much into it. So, let me give you the game of what's going on. You have a bunch of women who are claiming that they're, and I'm not talking about Cassie. Cassie shit was different. You have a bunch of people who are looking for quick paydays. I'm going to tell you this now, and this is my personal opinion. This is nothing like political or even whatever. And I got to speak limited because I have people who represent me too. This name, Tyrone Blackburn, he's the guy who's taken, if you're a woman and you fucked anybody or you did anything, he'll take your case and make an allegation. I'm going to just be honest with you. From what I've seen, in my personal opinion. And seeing his name here, after I've seen his name a few times, I'm still going to roast Young Miami. But I'm inclined to believe this is all cap. And this is just me truthfully.
In other words, he's looking for a payday. That is Robert Jones. I have a comment here from Jay. I think his perspective misses the simple word of mouth effect. Oh, you suing Diddy? Who's your lawyer? Exactly. Yeah, exactly. In essence, it's a shakedown. Right? He calls it a stick 'em up lawyer. What is usually referred to as a shakedown. So, you've got evidence against this guy. Say, okay, well, what do you want? Well, we want this, 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 and this. Okay, you get the money, so be it. But again, as Academics was saying, DJ Academics was saying, the fact of the matter is, this does not pertain to Cassie, because Cassie definitely suffered at the hands of Diddy. Everybody knows that. And that's why Diddy settled so quickly, because he said, yeah, okay, I did that. So here, take this. Get out of here. Go, get out. That's Diddy. That's Diddy and Cassie. Now everybody else here, Allegedly. It is yet to be proven in a court of law. I'm not going to speak on that in of itself. I'm not going to give my opinion on that. But you'll see in a minute why Rodney Jones is, well, he's hyping it up. He's got a lot of evidence. However, it's for an actual motive of, it's a shakedown. Let's go.
We're going to get into some reasons why I believe this is cap. Okay? Let's read this. Sean Holly's representing Diddy says Lil Rod was, by the way, well, another article said 30 billion. This says 30 million. Says Lil Rod is nothing more than a liar who filed a $30 million lawsuit shamelessly looking for undeserved payday. His name is...
Just a question from Jay Bird. No, he's not exactly... well, listen, he's a legitimate lawyer, but he sees an opportunity. He's an opportunist, right? He sees the fact that you got a man, Rodney Jones, Lil Rod, a lot of evidence. He hasn't been paid his money from, in a minute, it'll come up. I'm not going to say it yet, but he hasn't received money for a reason. I'm sure you can fill in the blanks and see what it is. And at the end of the day, he wants his money. And I have all this evidence. So he goes to a man like Tyrone Blackburn and says, I got this evidence. Can you get me my money from Diddy? And he's like, well, I have a whole list of, well, again, Tyrone saying, yes, of course I can. I have a whole list of people who are on my, who are my clients who said the same thing, and I got them their money. So again, is the lawyer really some kind of bad guy? He's not a bad guy. He just sees an opportunity. He's an opportunist. He sees an opportunity to get paid. He saw what Cash's lawyer received, and he wants his piece of the pie. So again, it's a reputation. You can stake your claim, you can stake your reputation in cases like this. Think about it that way.
Reckless name dropping about events that are pure fictional simply didn't happen. And it's nothing more than a transparent attempt to garner headlines. Now, I don't know if this is true. But, again, only thing I know is his lawyer is the ambulance chaser now. I think I can say that. His lawyer currently it seems to be an ambulance chaser for any type of lawsuit against someone with money. Why do I know? They have tried to hit my people up for money. Yo, hey, could we settle? Like, could we get some money from you too? And I'm like, what are you talking about, nigga? Kick rocks. You feel what I'm saying? Anyway.
And here's a heads up for you. That's why I said the ambulance season. A lot of plaintiff personal injury, if not reputable, but a lot of plaintiff personal injury lawyers and are really opportunists. They go out and they say, okay, you've got injuries for your accident. Let's go after the plaintiff. Let's go after the defendant, be it a person, or go after the insurance company and see how much money we can get. They're opportunists. That's why he says ambulance there, because he's referring to personal injury lawyers. So there you go.
It says we have overall. Okay, so by the way, this is not me sticking up for Diddy. I just know that lawyer, and that lawyer is like it's like the Al Sharpton. You know when Al Sharpton used to be like the ambulance chaser? Like anytime something happened, he's there. The ambulance chaser, right? This lawyer is the person that if your girl, say you fucked Chief Keef 3 years ago, but now you're broke as hell, and you're like, I just want to say some shit about Chief Keef, he'll take your case. He'll file it. He'll make it look
allegedly
like Chief Keef didn't wash it to you. Yeah.
Allegedly.
So this person in general is a little bit dicey to me. Now, Sean Holly, someone who represented OJ previously, represented Tory, she's not playing around. Now, that's Diddy's lawyer.
And I think that's one of academics' mistakes is the fact that he didn't say it allegedly. Because they can sue him for slander for saying such things because, calling him ambulance chasers and trying to ruin a reputation and such. It's good to say allegedly. So On my show, I'll say it. Allegedly, this man's an opportunist. Allegedly. An opportunist lawyer. That's it.
And by the way, we could go to Cassie's lawyer. Cassie's lawyer wasn't playing around either. Oh, fuck. Okay. Anyway, Cassie's lawyer wasn't playing around. The only thing, and this, I'm pointing this out, and I'm pointing this out because this is going around the industry. The name Tyrone Blackburn is a lawyer who is now almost essentially, and this is just what I've heard, this is hearsay, soliciting clients of people who are trying to Me Too or trying to accuse men. He's the lawyer, and by the way, if you look in his bio, it literally would say the big case that he feels like he's working on is he sued T.I. and Tiny. By the way, if you look at it, T.I. Tiny sued sexual assault. The latest update actually say that they're denying everything and they're going to be fighting this in court. Okay? Now, a lot of y'all might be new to lawsuits. You got to remember that Cassie shit was some different shit. The reason why Diddy settled it, that's some real shit. You have all these little waste men trying to like pop up with lawsuits, mostly because they're trying to replicate what happened in the Cassie situation. So they're trying to get settlements and shit like that. And from what I've seen in hip hop, this guy, he is representing either a few or maybe multiple, I'm not too sure, of the people that T.I. and Tiny are accused of having threesomes with. Ironically, his name also comes up when it's for a producer claiming he was sexually assaulted. And I'm not sticking up for Diddy at all, because I'm Young Miami, I'm gonna roast the shit out of you. Nowhere in the lawsuit does he says Diddy had sex with him. But this lawyer and this person knows people have this rumor and this thought that Diddy is gay. So you know what they do? They put it in a lawsuit form and they said this man got sexually assaulted. However, we're going to read some of the articles. None of the articles actually say Diddy had sex with the guy. Now, I ain't gonna lie. I'm being honest with y'all. I've heard Diddy gay. I'm like, just truthfully. I've heard that he gay. But I could only go on facts, right? In this situation, none of these guys are accusing Diddy of having intercourse or having somewhat of a having any physical relationship with them. Okay? So yeah. Says Diddy been sued by a man who claimed he sexually assaulted him, blah, blah. I read this part before. Now, here's where we're going to get into some interesting things because there are other things involved. Okay? So Young Miami gets involved into this.
Okay, so before we have that, Jay just gave a comment. Ultimately, this is a non sequitur. Even if the lawyer is an ambulance chaser, does this mean that the chase is not legit? It is legit. It is legit. However, it's for an ulterior motive. And you'll get to see it in just a moment. Now, here's the deal. I mean, you can see it by the legal, and this is what we're going to say. You can see by the action, by the taste and feel of the complaint made by Rodney Jones. It has a personal injury feel to it, right? Because of the breach of trust, the breach of protection. The breach of the breach of trust and the breach of protection levied against P. Diddy by Rodney Jones for the activities of assault, sexual assault by young Miami's cousin, by the sexual touching, sexual assault of Cuba Gooding Jr., by the sexual assault of those prostitutes. So it has a personal injury feel to it. There's a breach of duty to protect. That's what I was trying to say. There's a breach of duty, and with that breach of duty, Mr. Jones wants damages. Now, again, it has a personal injury feel. It's very, very detailed. It's very well written action. So this guy knows how to draft. This guy knows how to draft a complaint. He knows how to draft a claim. He knows how to draft one. He definitely knows how to draft one. That's excellently drafted. However, as you say, he's an opportunist. But again, we're gonna get to the reason why Mr. Jones wants money from Diddy. Watch this.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm a so roast Young Miami, but still, this is a guy who's accusing Diddy of raping him. And again, I'm saying rape because when you hear sexual assault, you're not thinking like, technically sexual assault.
And it's true. Diddy did not actually sexually assault Mr. Jones. It was other people that Diddy was affiliated with, as you saw that in the proceedings, who assaulted Mr. Jones. However, he still wants to get at Diddy for this reason. Listen close.
It could be, somebody, even in basketball, somebody slapping your ass if you didn't approve of it and whatever. That's a sexual assault, technically. If you didn't approve it, you didn't co-sign it, somebody slaps your ass, even if you're playing basketball, is sexual assault. This is his accuser right here. His name is Lil Rod, which, by the way, pause on that name. You can't sue a nigga for sexual assault and your name is Lil Rod. Holy. Anyway, let's listen to what he got to say.
I apologize to anyone this video may be embarrassing to. Let's just jump right into it. Some of you may know me or may not. I'm a music producer who's a writer and musician. Different genres. I started in gospel and jazz and R&B and worked my way over to the hip hop side. I've been working on an album. I took a year off straight working on this album. That album is the Love album, Off the Grid by Diddy. And it's Grammy nominated.
So this is a producer, by the way.
Right now as we speak. I should be celebrating, but the truth is I'm not. Taking this album on has required so much time, months and at a time, 16 hours to 24 hours a day. Sometimes, Diddy would request certain works to be done. I apologize to anyone.
Let's go.
And tell us don't go to sleep until it's done. And the truth is we'll be up for days trying to accomplish that. I've tried to get my business straight with them on this album, but the truth is they're not playing fair. They hit me on below the belt on so many situations.
Okay, when he says business straight, he's meaning he's trying to get his money. And he didn't think he was adequately compensated. So that's what he means by business straight.
Just dealing with this. It's the contract that they give me and the offer that they gave me was just disgusting. The producer fee, pennies, and on top of that, these guys are trying to steal my publishing. I can't go for that, so I'm fighting back. He's a fighter, but I'm going to put in this fight. I got to do it for myself, my rights, and most importantly, my kids. Taking my publishing or stealing it is I'm not going to let that happen. Not going to let that happen. Again, this is one of those projects that took so much time from me. I miss until us don't go to sleep until it's done. And the truth is we'll be up for days trying to accomplish that. I've tried days with my family just out working on this album. At one point, I was running around with the hard drives, the computer, just to run the ball on this album, to finish the production on it, make sure that this album came to, a good project with good vibes, you know, just where it is right now. And just to be offered little to no participation in this is highly disrespectful. I won't be that guy 20, 30 years from now looking back saying, I wish I'd done this. I'm going to do this now. Doing this situation is not easy. Taking Puff to court, suing him is not easy. I don't have the monies that it's going to take to fight him in court. So I'm just asking, you know, if you're Ace, with my family, just out.
Go ahead, because I run shit.
So what is that saying to you, dear audience? What is that saying to you? It's literally saying that he's not upset about the sexual assault. If he got paid, let me tell you something, that sexual assault wouldn't have happened. If he was regularly paid by Diddy, believe me, he would have slept with Young Miami's cousin. This would have been washed. This would have been, allegedly, let me say allegedly, there's a good chance that this lawsuit wouldn't have come to pass. Let me say that. It wouldn't have come to pass. He is not aggrieved to the fact that he was sexually assaulted. And this girl tried to straddle him. I didn't know what to do with myself. Oh, it's all this pressure. And I was held at gunpoint to make sure this album was done. No, he didn't get paid. He didn't get paid adequately enough. So he made sure he got all of his ducks in a row, presented it to Mr. Blackburn and said, sue him. Sue him. Because I'm going to get my money. So this is not about him being aggrieved for sexual assault. No, it's a cash grab. This is a legitimate cash grab. He felt he wasn't paid enough. He felt he didn't get his publishing. He felt that Diddy didn't honor his contract. He felt that the terms were bad. So he's going to get paid this way. And when he saw Cassie get the money she got, he want the same money. Now you get it? As Mr. Bird has said, he played himself with that. If this doesn't play in court, it'll be Diddy's new lawyer told on himself. Yeah, of course. Of course Diddy's lawyer's gonna sequester this. Absolutely. This will be the key part of the case. Goes without saying. He'd have to be deaf, dumb, and blind not to see that. And say, hey, oh, that's why you want the money. Now I get it. But Cassie was like, okay, she suffered. You knew that. You can see the bumps, you can see the bruises, you can see, and everything looked up. And then Diddy turned around and said, yeah, give her her money. Here, take this money. Take this money. Take this money. Hurry up and take this money. But here, now you see why those proceedings doesn't hold true. However, one thing's for sure, though, he'll be a key witness in the federal action against Diddy for, human trafficking, sex trafficking, racketeering, RICO actions. That's serious. That's the real thing. This one, for him to get $30 million, he's not getting $30 million. I'll say it right now. He's not getting $30 million. Not after that. He ain't. And that's what academics are saying right here. He ain't going to get $30 million. No. He told him himself. Like you said, Jay.
Hold on. Now we're going to go to his page. There's another video he dropped recently.
Hello, everyone. Until further notice.
And the thing about it is, you would have thought he would have deleted these comments. Knowing the proceedings he already had, he would have get rid of these things. Delete them. Delete. Didn't cover his tracks, though. That's where a man like academics comes in and said, ha. Didn't cover his tracks, though. Sure, it'd take $2 million, but that's what I'm saying. It's like, I don't know if he gets $2 million. I think he gets his 6 figures and be done with it. I don't think he gets 7.
I would not be performing at any gigs or anything like that. For security reasons, my family, friends, and everyone close to me just feels like there's a lot of potential threats, and everybody's just telling me what he's allegedly capable of, and it's very scary for myself, and it has me worried about my kids, and just sleeping with anxiety and different things like that. So just moving forward, just want to pause on everything until we know that it's clear and safe for me to come back outside of work. I appreciate you all for your love and support, and everybody that knows me, etc. Thank you so much. Love.
So, one thing's for sure, though, that Rodney Jones he has a right to be afraid, because Diddy's not exactly, he's not exactly the safest above board with regards to dealing with things in an amicable way. Diddy, when he wants to get crazy, he can get slightly unhinged, as they say, and that's putting it mildly. But again, that's alleged. Alleged.
Hello, everyone. Until further notice, I would.
All right, man. Carisha, we're going to ignore some of these facts just to get on your ass later, but let me just say this first and foremost. The bottom of the barrel bum-ass nigga brigade that y'all niggas is hungry and y'all seen Cassie get $50 million. Yes, Cassie was sucking 50 dicks a night. She deserved that $50 million. Diddy knows she deserved that $50 million. Cassie was getting piped out by random niggas. She had to go search up and Google the biggest cock in town that she had to fucking slam down her trachea and fucking ride and get plowed by. You see a lot of y'all niggas, y'all trying to be Cassie. Y'all trying to make up a story, but y'all not Cassie. Lil Rod, let me address your ass real quick. And I'm going to read through your bullshit ass lawsuit. But let me tell you this. I'm not no friend of Diddy, but I ain't no enemy. I'm a roast Carisha just because she's a fucking whore. But you a piece of shit. Already I know you a piece of shit because you got that Tyrone Blackburn nigga. He will sue anybody. He will sue a dead nigga. From what I've heard. The problem with you is that the real issue you had with Diddy is that you had a publishing beef with him. I remember when we listened to Tiffany Red last night? And she was like, oh, I don't get this. And why did this person not sing this song? And they get... You were mad at Diddy over a publishing situation. We know Diddy raped all y'all in y'all publishing. Now, let me say that again. He raped you in your publishing on a business deal. Never raped your butt. Never fucked you. If he did fuck you, you would have a lot more to say. But of course, if you're trying to negotiate with Diddy, he's not succumbing to whatever your demands is. At some point, you're like, let me try to act like he's like a weirdo, or let me try to make some shit up and maybe he'll succumb. That is exactly what's going on now. Now, if you go on YouTube, Lil Rod, give me a second. Lil Rod publishing Diddy. My bad, I typed it wrong. Look,
hey, cause I run shit. I run shit.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Little Rod ain't worth giving his kingdom to if we don't control his publishing. I can solve his efforts with 3 other human beings. He's eating at our table, and I like his backstory, but you need to have other people. It's hard to work with him unless we have his brother. He's a piece of shit human, but we do not need his talent unless we can work with him.
Yeah. Now that seems like a video from Lil Rod's. Well, it was on this page actually, so it's this video right here. But let's play.
Hey, because I run shit. I run shit.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Little.
By the way, February 3rd, he says y'all celebrating Grammy Week. I'm currently nominated on the album. I produced at least 9 songs. I should be celebrating, but I'm currently fighting for my publishing for months. I took a year straight off to do work on this album, and I'm definitely not being showed love.
Hey, because I run shit. I run shit.
Yeah, you do.
You also see Stevie J say 3 weeks ago, post the whole video. Don't make it seem like niggas just sitting around joking on you. And you didn't produce 9 songs on a project. Adding a piano on a song doesn't make you the producer. Adding bass on a song definitely doesn't make you the producer. Tell the whole story on how you came in as an engineer. Don't get selective amnesia, and don't try to make the homie look like he's stealing from you, because clearly I know that ain't the case. Here's where we run into issues, people, when we're trying to figure out a campaign and we're trying to figure out the truth behind some of these, very secret, I won't say necessarily societies, but like these secret lives of these moguls. We want to hear the truth about Diddy. We're not going to continue with lies. So essentially, this is a producer who felt like he did some work for Diddy. And just like that writer for Beyonce, you have people who feel like Diddy didn't give them their proper due. And it appears to be this guy because the proof is not that plentiful. Now, we're going to read this bullshit-ass lawsuit.
Okay, so that's where we stop there. This is where I give my final thoughts, ladies and gentlemen. I think you've known enough. Now you've seen both sides. Thank you very much to DJ Academics. He's done such great work on this action. Do give him a follow on YouTube, on Instagram, on Rumble. He is doing excellent work in these YouTube series, and I have a newfound respect for DJ Academics. He is an investigator extraordinaire. And listen, there's a reason why there's certain, they may talk about his relationship, and that's far be for me to discuss. However, when it comes to investigative journalism with regards to the hip-hop community, him and Trap Laura Ross, they have that game on lock. Believe me, they see both sides of the table. So let me just say this right now. It appears that Rodney Jones has a serious case against Diddy. But do not believe for a second that Diddy can't make a fist of it with regards to a defense. He can't. He has loads of money to do it. He's gone liquid in terms of his assets. He's just yesterday he sold his shares in Revolt TV, his multimedia entity, and he's fighting these cases. He's fighting every last one of them because, again, it's as Academics was saying, a lot of these ones are retroactive sexual misconduct activities, or a person or opportunists trying to get a buck. They're trying to get a buck. Let's call a spade a spade. They're trying to make some money off of Diddy. Cassie, as Academics was saying, she suffered big time at Diddy's hands. So that's why Diddy said, you know what? I get it. Pay the woman. Get her money. $30 million? Fine. I don't want this out in the streets. Now, the only thing about it is that federal case. That federal case is a monster. They want to put Diddy in jail. Let it be said. They want to put him in jail. And they've got a mountain of evidence to do it. That's why they conducted 2 synchronized raids and on both of his properties in Miami and Los Angeles. Don't think for a second that they aren't going for the jugular against Diddy, because they are. They literally are. They are. They are. They are. And it is up to Diddy to protect himself, but that's a case he has to fear. A lot of these other cases with regards to the lawsuits against him, those can be nuanced, those can be defended, because again, as a scene, I mean, again, you have to make your claim against a defendant such as Diddy serious enough that you will be compensated for it. And that's all that Rodney Jones, aka Little Rod, wants. He wants to be compensated. He wants his money. He wants his money. And he saw Cassie get her money, so he said, I want my money too. I want my $30 million. I want my $30 million and a mule. Play upon words. Bad joke, but I get it. But that is the long and the short of the story right now. So, but again, the tsunami is coming for Diddy. It's not these little, and I wouldn't say, it's not these claims against him lodged by Rodney Jerkins et al, different females involved in these freak-offs. Cassie was the one who made the big dough. I don't predict that Rodney Jones et al will make much money. It could get a 6 or a 7, I get it. But I would tempt to say a 6-figure salary for most of these people. But the thing about it is Diddy's going to have great counsel, and he's going to defend it to the hilt. And he's going to use tapes like this to severely lower that contract. And they'll put 2 and 2 together. This is the causation that they need. He felt he got jerked on publishing, so therefore, sue him for $30 million. We're in that Me Too movement too, as academics referred to and vilified, really. So that's where we stand right now with returns to Diddy. So is Diddy done? The federal case is what you got to look for. Don't look at the civil lawsuits here and there that, are salacious and, people get high off these certain things. No. Watch for the federal case. That's the big one. Because that sunk a guy like Weinstein, that sunk a guy like R. Kelly, and that will, if given the chance, arrest and sink a man like P. Diddy. So watch that. Again, he's innocent until proven guilty, so all this will be proven in court. He will defend it to the nth degree because he has the money to do it. However, do remember, there's a 98% success record on the part of federal prosecutors. So Diddy's in the fight for his life. And to a certain extent, I wish him well. Thank you very much for joining me on Talk to Talk Live. Thank you very much. And it was great interaction with you tonight. It was a long one tonight. It was 3 hours. I just want to knock it out and get Diddy's story out of the way right now. As was seen, Diddy's accomplice was arrested earlier on today. That was, let me just get back to it quickly here. That was Mr. Yes. That's him in his basketball days with Syracuse. That was Mr. Yes, Brendan Paul. Mr. Diddy has not been arrested. He's still out, and he's still going to fight the matter vigorously on all fronts, both civil and federal. And things will continue. But watch out for his arrest by federal prosecutors. That's the big one. That's the big one. That's the fight of his life. So, again, I wish Mr. Diddy as well as possible. He deserves defense. He's innocent until proven guilty, and we will see how things play out. And I thank you very much for joining me on Talk Live on IG and YouTube. Like, subscribe, comment on the road to 1,000 subscribers. I'm going to see if I can bring one tomorrow. I will say Candace Owens needs to be talked about because, again, that's a tsunami. But I have a few other things as well that, we'll get back to my usual bag of Talk Live anyway. Yes, indeed. Thank you very much, Jay. I had a good time listening. I had a good banter with you as well, Jay. So again, I will have a look at you. I will look at your bio, Jay, and make sure that I look you up. Absolutely. But I think I know you. But thank you very much for joining me on Talk Live. And this is an ever evolving matter, so this ain't over. There'll be revelations left, right, and center as things go on. And remember, there are further, what was that now? 5, 6 lawsuits to come, all from other individuals as well. So again, other plaintiffs as well. So they'll all want their take of Diddy's fortune because they feel that they were, sexually assaulted, raped, part of sexual trafficking, racketeering, all this RICO issues as well. So you'll see more cases as such, and they'll use the Cassie blueprint again and again and again and again. You heard it first. Heard it here first. So good night indeed from Toronto, and we'll speak to you soon, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to you, Jay, and we'll talk soon. Good night from Toronto. And good night to you, my friends here on Talk Live on YouTube. Great show, long show, probably the longest show ever, 3 hours.